Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the I'm Doing Great podcast with your hosts, Mike Lerner and Gina Floria. Or do we say Bon Tempo?
Bon Tempo, please.
Okay, so locals, go to doinggreat.locals.com where you can get cool exclusive content where I forget Amy Adams' name in the movie Arrival, which I am doing a small review on. That's the first piece of content that we've done so far together
I saw
on
that.
Locals.
You forgot her name?
Yeah.
Oh.
I called her Amy Smart. Doinggreat.locals.com. Also, we have a surprise guest today. Oh, but even before we get to the surprise guest, listen, we're going to have a sponsor coming up pretty soon, like an actual real sponsor. So get ready for us to read ad reads throughout the show.
Sorry.
In addition to the YouTube ads that pop up that you guys skip in 5 seconds anyway. But I want to introduce our guests. So let me tell you what happened. Yesterday, I texted the guy sitting to my right. You're a guy, right? I shouldn't assume.
I mean,
That's enough. Okay, so I texted him. He was really excited to come on the show. And then the person sitting to his right, I saw that he was in Nashville. And I said, hey, do you want to come on the show? And he said, just say yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not how I remember it going, but let's just go
judging
with it.
by that, you guys should know who that is already. So I'd like to introduce to you for episode 26, we have Elijah Schaffer and John Doyle on the show.
Pretend like,
Yay.
pretend like people are
Fantastic.
excited. Let's
Yay.
just pretend. Like, at least give a sound effect for
John
us.
is our first repeat.
Oh, that's right.
Well, I mean, I saw the way the episode did, and it was immensely popular, and everyone loved me, so I figured that I could come back and we could discuss
Yes.
many important topics.
Yes.
He's known for his humility, which is why I'm friends with him. John is known as just being a guy without having too big of a personality and letting other people have the spotlight. And I just got to say, John, it's a really good quality and character trait in yourself, and we're all learning.
Elijah, the tone in his voice suggests that what he's saying he doesn't know is true, but it actually is true. And,
Oh, it is true.
Being epic is not a zero-sum game. Like I've never compared myself to anyone else, be like, I'm better than you. I just acknowledge that like I'm pretty good at this, and everyone else can be too. It just so happens that most people
Throwing
are
out
not.
names. I'm throwing out names. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Are you better than this person? Let's try the game. Are you better than this person? President Woodrow Wilson. Better or not?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, so you don't compare yourself to people and say you're better than, but the first person I brought up, you're better than.
Oh, you don't compare? Well, what if I pitch you this hypothetical where you have to compare? Yeah, I should have just been like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm dying on this hill.
John Doyle says one thing. We start the podcast. I don't do this. I say, okay, let's see if that's true. Immediately starts the podcast. He does it. All right, let's move on.
I'm slightly offensive. Where are you guys sitting most of the time? Across from each other?
Yeah, but he tries to sit on my lap, and then I tell him
Okay,
no,
so
and
this
then
was
we
a
move on.
mistake.
Elijah wants
We're
to
sitting
big
right next to
right,
each other.
Yeah.
I'm
you guys are
going
very close to each other
start
right now.
talking
very, very close.
about
They can see.
things.
No, we
Yeah,
do. We
it's
do sit
like-
really close. Actually, nobody knows the slightly offensive studio is about the same size as this studio, which means
Oh,
it
really?
is 10,000 square
12,000
feet.
square
Yeah,
feet.
12,000.
Yeah,
Okay, I was off by 2,000 square feet.
I
We're
almost
close.
felt bad. I don't know if you felt this way, but I almost felt bad. No offense, John. But I felt bad about
When you guys
asking
were-
John
Oh,
if he
never
wanted to
mind.
come on the show because I'm like, oh, it's Elijah's first time on the show. But then I was like, let's get John in.
Well,
Fuck
yeah,
Elijah.
because you were trying to surprise me.
Yes.
He called me. He says, "I have a surprise for you tomorrow."
He ruined it, didn't he?
Yeah.
I can't.
Well-
My wife's watching. I can't keep the surprise.
I kind of
ever.
guessed.
I can't keep a
I
secret.
kind of guessed.
Yeah.
I mean, my first guess was, "I'm sorry," but I was like, "Nick Fuentes."
Haven't you had him on?
Wow.
I was ready to, pitch Elijah and I. Oh yeah, we're a package deal. We go together like peas and carrots. And then he chose violence, and he's picking on me for feeling good about myself. And
Peas and carrots. What are you eating? Like Kroger 99-cent frozen vegetables?
It's a
At least
Forrest
have
Gump.
something
it's
better.
obviously a Forrest Gump reference.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Let's mention
You guys are cute.
irrelevant
It's
movies.
like an old married couple next
Forrest
to us.
Gump is an
Yeah.
irrelevant
Right?
movie.
I feel like
what is this?
these two are the younger versions of those old Muppets
We
that
need to
sit
talk
up in the
it out.
balcony.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But no, they liked each other.
I'll
He's
cut
mad
to
at
them
me
in the
right
sizzle
now.
reel.
We have Forrest Gump's bench in our studio that he sat on.
The real one?
The real one, yeah. Yep. I don't know why it's there, but it is. You walk in and the big
Wait.
long bench is there that he sits
Really?
on where he eats box of chocolates.
Yeah.
But I thought,
Box of chocolates.
because I grew up around Savannah, and every time we would go through Savannah, there was
Alabama.
like a bench there where people were like, "This is the bench where."
Oh, they may have actually shot it.
Yeah, I think they shot
In
something
Georgia,
in Savannah, but I don't know.
But they probably have some benches that they
maybe
made.
multiple benches.
Yeah.
I just want to tell everybody that John Doyle thinks that he can change Emma Watson. We were just talking about this before the camera started rolling.
Yes.
He thinks that he can change her and that he can bring her to the light.
Yes, I mean,
And I'm guessing it's because she was literally Belle in Beauty and the Beast, and we all know how John feels about Beauty and the Beast.
well,
and Gaston.
that's actually downstream from the original thing, which was that I fell in love with Hermione Granger.
Why?
Well, so I kind of was a late bloomer with getting into the Harry Potter stuff. you know, because I didn't really watch when I was younger because it was like witchcraft. And then I sort of fell into it when I was in high school. And that was at the age where I was like, okay, I think I could actually save Emma Watson. So I don't know. Hermione just seemed like a really good girl to have around in a situation. You know,
she's a know-it-all. That's like the one thing you don't want a woman to be, right?
That's all just an elaborate shit test. You know, she really just needed a guy to more or less put her in her place. And, you know, Harry wasn't that guy, which is why she ended up getting with Ron. But because Ron was too much of a pussy to where she could like order him around. Harry was on that like fence where he's like kind of a pussy, but he's also like, I'm the boy who lived. Oh, I know magic. So he like sort of had some status there, but ultimately he couldn't really seal the deal. So I think that in the real world, I mean, you know, she's like what, 32 now. I've seen some photos of her recently. She's looking pretty barren up here, probably looking pretty barren down there.
Very
so
bad.
someone's got to swoop in, and I just think
Not
I'm
true.
the guy to do it.
That was a commercial for autism. That was so crazy. It was like, don't vaccinate your kids. But I liked
Who's
it.
the other redhead? The other girl in the Harry Potter.
That was Ginny. That was Ron Weasley's sister. I don't know her real
Ginny,
name.
what would you label her? Well, out of 10, what would you
Weasley.
give her though? Because I feel like she's. What would you say?
Well, it's also
It's like a
white girls
5.
just don't age very well, so that's why they both.
But
look
she's a
terrible.
wizard,
No,
though. She
but
could
both
do-
of them are
she could do tricks.
ginger. They both aged horribly.
Yeah.
But my wife is older than them, looks better than them.
Yeah, well, because she actually takes care of herself, and she's not probably a.
Well, okay.
I was
Well,
gonna say
speaking of
pedophile,
pussy,
but-
okay. So I came home last night and my wife was watching this show called The Ultimatum or something. Okay, so you know this show Love Is Blind that
I
we were talking
tried
about?
to watch The Ultimatum. Yes,
Okay.
it's so
Have you guys
trash.
heard of this?
Ray Charles' life, right?
Yes. But listen to the premise of the show. So I was watching it and just there was this couple talking on a rooftop bar. I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" And Carly was like, "Well, this girl doesn't really know if her boyfriend is the one, and her boyfriend wants to marry her, but she doesn't really know if he's the one. She wants to see if there are other fish in the sea." And I was like, so wait, so what's this couple doing? And he said, well, they're allowed to see other people, so they're going to live with each other for 2 weeks. They're going to live with someone else.
To test it out.
Right, to test it out.
My
And
wife watches this show. She told me about it. This is crazy.
So I
It's
said,
awful.
oh, so she's a whore and he's
Yes.
a pussy.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought when I was watching this. So they literally, so imagine this: you have been dating somebody for like 3 years, and one of you wants to get married and the other one doesn't.
Right.
And so then they put together
Break
like
up,
6
A,
couples.
show's over.
They put together 6 couples, and they're like, now you're gonna date each other, and
Yes.
you're gonna like have sex with each other, and then you're gonna go back to your original partner and decide if you want to get married.
Yes.
Why do we bring this up?
it's an open
He
relationship.
said pussy, and that's
Okay.
that was my new title of the show.
That was pretty good because I was thinking that you said that Hermione, that the other one, what's the Weasley girl's name?
Ginny Weasley.
You said she was a 5, but I say all wizards are started at a 7 because they,
Because
know
they're
their way with a
wizards.
wand.
Well,
they
they're
just
witches.
well,
Well, in the
They're
movies,
witches.
not now. She's not a five.
they're handsy.
They're handsy.
I mean, I'm just saying they literally have a wooden. They're like
But isn't
professional
Emma
stick
Watson like
handlers.
significantly older than you, John?
This is in my blood. You know, my dad was 7 years younger than my mom when they got married. So this is just something that I am destined to pursue, it would seem. And, you know, my mom was actually like, I think 40 when she had me. So that's where the autism would come from.
You
but
would have to impregnate
my
her like
gosh.
immediately.
not immediate. Of course, we would court. We would get married in the Catholic Church, which she would convert to. And Mike understands this. And yeah, you know, at some point, I imagine that would happen. And, you know, we would give birth to the most autistic kid. But they would be so handsome. He would lead millions. It would be great.
I'm just
Well, I'm
like,
just not convinced.
well, no, because okay, I've literally met your wife before in person, and I didn't know what to do because I was like a giddy schoolgirl, and I just like bumped into her in a lobby of a hotel, and then I just somehow thought the right question was, "Are you really British?" And she's like, "Yes," and I didn't realize that
Who
that
you-
was
who you
dumb.
That's
talking
such a
about?
her thing to say. She's so sweet.
The girl that plays the wizard.
Oh, you're calling
Watson.
her his wife. as
Real.
a
Yeah,
joke.
yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
met Emma Watson, and I gotta say, Emma
Not really
Watson's
a
freaking
joke,
hot.
More of a prophecy.
Emma Watson was hot. I don't know about now with the skin damage, maybe the
I
ozone
think it
layer
was
stuff.
just bad lighting. Everyone's giving her
Stone.
shit.
I think that
like Emma
sin
Stone.
makes women age like milk. I think that's what it is.
Well, that's
It's
actually
the
true.
years of sunscreen. Josh Lacash has opened my eyes to the dangers of certain
sunscreen.
chemically related like skin
Maybe
products.
she had an
Sunscreen.
abortion.
I
too, at
stopped
one
using
point.
shampoo and conditioner since
Same.
I talked to him,
Yes.
and my hair is
Same.
better.
Yeah.
It
Same.
feels so much healthier. I bet more. It was like 7 days of oil, and then it's
Yeah.
now the last few days. It's been pretty epic.
Right. So it felt greasy at first, right?
My abortion coffee's here. Could you go grab it,
Yeah, I was
Josiah?
gonna say you could tell him.
My abortion vaccine mixture.
Where'd you get it from?
I got it from Starbucks. It's a vice of mine. I consider Starbucks to be a vice. Wouldn't you say so? Everyone's like, dude, it's not good. It's like a bad company.
No,
I'm like,
I have
it's a vice.
Different vice, which is why you're mad at me this morning.
Oh my gosh, that's my favorite vice of John's.
Prostitution is like not a problem. I don't give you shit for it at all.
No, it's because I like to gossip.
We're not going there, John.
That's why John and I are friends.
This show has no structure today.
We're not going there. I just
Yeah,
need my
no.
abortion juice.
How about a magic trick? I'm gonna make me and Elijah's friendship disappear.
You know what we should do, honestly? We should just start off with questions, and then from
Okay.
there.
Okay, yeah,
should
let's
just-
do that. That's a good
I
idea.
like this game.
Yeah.
I know
I
you
don't know
guys
if I
like the
don't. I
questions.
don't know if I like this game. Do
See,
we like
we got so many questions.
it? Did people ask this? By the way, are these your
These
followers
are all,
asked?
these are
Did
our
you move
followers'
to Dallas
questions.
for Elijah?
Unironically, yeah, in a way, because I lived in Michigan and I really wanted to get out of there, but I couldn't justify like moving out but staying in Michigan because it's like I'm still young enough to where I could live with family. So I wanted to go somewhere, and the only friend I had in Texas was Elijah.
You guys are tethered for the rest of your lives.
Well, I just told. Well, yes, kind of. We did do the whole blood sacrifice thing. At the
Where
Yale
you-
University thing. Yeah.
You like cut your
Never,
hands
by
and
the way,
shake your
never do blood brothers with a guy who grew up in LA. I've got like TikTok. Like,
yeah, he's got hepatitis C now.
Yeah,
but
I've
hey,
got AIDS.
we're bound by our monthly checkups, so that's really nice. We can always have the same doctor now and
You guys go
physician.
to a free clinic?
Yeah, of course. No, of course.
Okay, so these questions are just going to come at you. They're not rapid fire. You can spend a little time on them. Obviously, this is an insider thing with you, probably, because I don't know what it is. _ Tony, friend of the show.
Oh,
As an
Tony.
SOB, gotta say, love the Telegram group. I got there after all the weird stuff, though.
Okay, so are we gonna get into the scat porn era?
I don't know anything about
it's
that.
an era.
So the SOB stands for slightly offensive backers because everyone who follows me is straight up an SOB. But also, so we have this Telegram that was meant to be a fun place to share memes, and we had the best memologists that ever lived, and they would create the most catastrophic and chaotic memes that ended up becoming the star of like multiple shows and ended up making even the news. And then people came in and they ruined it with the one thing that you shouldn't ruin something good with, and that is a combination of deep fake George Floyd gay fisting porn and scat porn, people pooping in each other's mouths. And it became so bad that we got mods and bots, and we were trying to block it all, and people just kept finding new videos and pictures of everyone defecating on each other's faces, and we didn't know what to do, so we shut it down for a second, and we've officially restricted images and GIFs because some people decided to troll us, and they thought they were cool. They were these like traditional Catholic guys that thought it was super cool to say like nothing's funnier than me going and searching up people having sex with feces involved and then somehow posting it to troll the not real right-wing people. And nothing's more traditional conservative than that. So kudos. And that's what happened. And it really sucks because now we can't have memes because of poop in mouth.
Oh, that's
I'm lost,
yeah.
to be honest.
You don't ever use Telegram, I'm imagining.
I mean, I got on it once, so not really.
My wife uses it,
I follow
and
Milo.
What are you talking
Dr.
about?
Peter McCullough texts her all the time because it'll say Peter McCullough, like it'll come up a notification, and I'm like, "What is he doing texting you?" And she says, "No, that's how it looks when he posts something." So
Yes,
I always
it's like
think he's-
it's like talking about Facebook to a Gen Z. I feel like right now, where I'm like, Telegram is essentially a place where it's like an unfiltered social media. But I mean, it was meant to be to post memes, and people that don't
And
like
then the
me
poop came in.
decided that I wasn't traditional enough, and I'm not Catholic, and so now let's attack this place that's degenerate and spread it with degenerate scat porn. And we found out who a lot of the people were, so we fixed a lot of the problems.
And how did you punish them?
There's hacking involved. It's not me. I've just smarter people than me doing that.
no.
Interesting.
Okay, thank you for that answer.
I know that was a good start off to the question.
No, I
answer.
love
Great.
it. I love it.
Exactly what we expected with Elijah Schaffer.
Okay.
Here's a question
Sorry,
from.
I'm so sorry for this episode.
No, this is a more mainstream question. Young Heather Simon wants to know what are some policies conservatives should or should not compromise with moderates. I'll let the both of you guys go on this one.
Literally anything pertaining to social conservatism, I would say, because I made this point in a speech recently. Oftentimes,
Thank you, Josiah. Come on in. Thank you.
Wow.
This is Josiah Moody. Excellent. Come on in.
Let's see.
Got our
Will
bullshit
his,
copy.
will his
They
face-
give
Can I get a
us,
can I get a straw? Or
There he is.
we only got one?
I want a straw.
I have a
so-
tall one though. I'm gonna need that
That's
straw.
huge.
I have a.
No, you can sip it out of that thing though.
Okay,
all right.
I need to sort of mix this up a little bit, if you don't mind.
What's your drink choice?
This is an iced caramel macchiato.
This is called a T17.
It's true. We call Aldo and
You got a
I,
bindi
my
on?
roommate,
You'll keep the bindi on?
because he calls his show the top 17 show on Blaze.
it on.
So that's his like drink that he gets at Starbucks, and he gets it all customized with like 2 pumps of syrup, no whipped cream. So Aldo and I have nicknamed that the T17, the top 17.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
That was the worst thing I've seen since scat porn.
So social conservatism.
Yeah, well, because oftentimes conservatism and maybe politics in general is often graphed as sort of a debate between, fiscal policy and social policy. And the argument that I made, which is objectively correct, is that you're not going to have a country in which to have that fiscal policy if it's not socially conserved. So, if you don't have social conservatism and just purely free market capitalism, well, then the lemonade stand is going to devolve into the OnlyFans, and that's not good. So, frankly, I would rather live in a country that is less materially well off. If it means that the state wasn't trying to make my child question their sexuality, chop things off, add things in, So that's basically what I would say. And again, the slippery slope is the most vindicated thing to ever exist in the history of slopes, architecture, whatever. And literally what that was a psyop to attack pattern recognition, inductive reasoning. People realizing, wait a minute, they said this and now they're doing this. Well, then wouldn't then in the future they want to do that? Well, no, because you can't prove that. So it's a logical fallacy. I'm so smart. It's like, okay, well, you're actually gay, as a matter of fact. So it's not a perfect predictor, but it's the best predictor that we have. Sure, we can't prove that that's what's going to come next, but the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. And that's where the slope is. So yeah, the slippery slope is epic and based. And also being illogical is also epic and based. Like thinking logically, what do you like, the Enlightenment or something?
The Enlightenment, that's what I was going to say. That's just like
Cringe.
from the Enlightenment.
I saw a meme.
Reason is king from the Enlightenment.
I saw a meme that was like conservatives 2040, and it's a guy in a suit, and he was like, no. This church can only have 3 trans kids pastors, okay? That's
Trans
it.
kid
Yeah.
pastors.
So it's like that slippery slope that he's talking about
Yeah.
just keeps on getting steeper and steeper and steeper. What do you think, Elijah?
What was the question?
What are some policies conservatives should or should not compromise with moderates?
Well, I'm not actually a conservative myself. I'm not one consider myself a moderate, but I think I really like the conservatives. I mean, they're growing on me. John grows on me a lot every single day. I mean, tumors grow on people too, so it depends. There's good and bad growth.
The last time John was on the show, he said growth is cancer.
Real.
No, but I actually like John. John is
Like
a really, really awesome conservative dude that I appreciate. I think with the conservative values, there are some tenets though that are needed in a culture, just despite whether you fall even to the left or to the right. Meaning, you just need certain tenets that have to be in place for society to be successful. And one of those things is definitely on the rejection of the trans ideology. It doesn't exist. Like there's no such thing if we cannot have a basic fundamental understanding that there are male and female. This whole idea of like the African Americanization of gender, the biological male, like we give these little like adjectives and whatnot. It's kind of stupid to me because you're either a male or a female. And even if you're a conservative, you believe God probably made male and female, which is the truth. And you should figure that out. You're figuring it out.
Yeah.
But also then too, if you're not, you can't have a society when you can't define basic terms like that. And you could even use reason. And then on top of that, that goes with the family. Like it is just fundamentally understood that this move towards transhumanism, where we're going to have, in vitro, or I should say in vivo babies in little artificial wombs being like supplanted into women with penises and men with mangled penises that look like a vagina, which by the way trans activists are now saying is better than real vagina. Apparently it tastes better, looks better, and it's cleaner according to
is that what they're
now.
saying
They're
now?
actually saying to young people that it's not that it's an alternate option, it's the better option.
It's superior.
Yeah, they're saying it's superior.
There's
It's
a large sample size out there for people to make that.
Kroger
judgment.
pussy.
Yeah, the 2 people
It's
that have it.
off-brand
Did
never
you say
tastes better. It's
Kroger?
Aldi.
Right.
It's like come on, it's cheap. It's never better. But anyway, I was gonna say I think that's the main thing is like people need to realize and wake up. Like you can't be progressive in certain areas. It doesn't work. And if a society doesn't have gender, if they don't have family, if they don't have function like that, and we're not reproducing on a healthy level, then we're gonna see what we see now, where they're just replacing.
What are
us.
you though? What do you
Also-
call yourself?
Do I? I mean, I
you
think
have a
that
label?
I don't like the pronouns game, and I feel like I'm 28 and I'm still on a political discovery.
Sure.
I would also reject even the framing of the question, like presupposing that we ought to compromise. And it's like, if you're a moderate, and I mean no disrespect by this at all, because I don't recommend being as politically involved as maybe Elijah is or I am. But it's just that you haven't thought things through to the logical conclusion. And that's really what it is. That's why they vilify extremism. Oh, you're extreme. And it connotes these ideas of like violence. But what extremism means is that you exist like on the bell curve of American political thought on the extreme, which if you obviously would do if you continue your research. And that's why they don't want you to do that. They talk about, the pipeline, because when you keep following the logical implications of these ideas, you will eventually get to a point where you are an extremist because you're like, obviously this isn't working. This is what we need to do. That's the only legitimate threat to the regime. Like, obviously, why would you want to not be on the extreme when you see what this moderate consensus has done to the country? Like, that is the governing consensus of this country. You know it's going to hell in a handcart. Why would you want to be not an outlier within that system? So I would say that we don't need, and even conservatism, you are conserving. That means by definition, any compromise you make with these people is lost ground. It is a tug of war. And, you really kind of have to, people say I'm not humble. That's not true. I'm actually the most humble.
I literally said that at the beginning of the show.
And it's so true. You have to walk outside and just look around at the systems that have been constructed by men who came before you. You look at the architecture, you look at the plumbing. Ask yourself, if I were just dropped off and I had 1,000 men to command, would I know how to rebuild the system? No, you wouldn't. Don't think that you're smarter and know better than even your grandparents. Oh, well, they didn't know that actually a boy can be a girl. Well, I'm smarter than them. Well, they didn't know that, you are not smarter than them. It is not, this idea of tradition. I think the quote is, it's not like, trying to aid a dying fire, but rather carrying the torch, preserving the tradition that have built this country and this whole society. So, I would say that's.
What's a hand cart? People say like it's going to hell in a hand basket or hand cart. What is that?
Like
what
wheelbarrow,
is
hand
maybe?
cart is
Wheelbarrow,
like
that's what
when
I
you
was
go
thinking.
to. It's like I thought when you go to the supermarket and you have the little hand cart.
what a horrible way to go to hell.
Basket.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is a basket.
It's a basket. The hand cart is like a wheelbarrow.
I mean, if you're gonna go to hell, if you're gonna like jeopardize your eternity, what a horrible choice
How do you fit in the
of
hand
transportation. That's what I always thought. The world's in the hand basket.
Yeah.
To Elijah's point as well about the gender ideology, of course we know it's a lie, but like literally even the word gender, they'll say, and this was propagated throughout the 1960s, well, sex is biological, but gender is how you feel up here, which doesn't make sense because your hormones influence everything. Like if you have male hormones, that is going to influence every aspect of your development, your musculature, your ratio of where your waist is to where your hips are, even like your brain. So this idea that you can have a female brain and a male body is not only just baseline retarded, it's actually advanced levels of retardation. But even like with the semantic game that they play with gender separate from sex, gender literally means, like if you look at the root word genesis, generation, that means to create. Think dermatology, taxidermy, that means skin, literally to create skin. And conservatives will always say, well, there's two genders. That means they're complementary. That means coming together to create life, to create flesh. That is a complementary procreative aspect. That's what that word has always meant.
I like that. Josh, why the Indian baller wants to know, will you come to the home of black people culture, Atlanta? Because we know you love blacks most.
This is
I don't
so
know.
true.
Is that directed at you or at you?
Well, because nobody
gotta
loves
be
black
towards
people more than me.
It's gotta be towards John. John does love black people. John, going on Candace Owens' show and ending your statement while I get you on your first Daily Wire show and you say, I love black people, and then just end. I got to say this. There's nothing controversial about that because you do.
There's not.
Why is it
would there
weird?
be?
Why is it weird to confess your love for an entire group of people who do no wrong?
No, it's so true. It's such a good point, Elijah, because what?
Do you think Elijah gets us banned?
I think that Elijah's definitely going to get us our first strike.
Yeah.
I said they do no wrong.
For sure.
There's two groups of people that fundamentally you can't hold accountable because of their perfection. That is transsexuals and black people.
No, it's transgender now, Elijah. Transsexual is offensive.
That's true. But black trans lives matter. That's true. They're being genocide across the world.
Yeah.
It's every day.
Because
all three of them.
I'm not politically correct, so I don't have to speak with a filter. So a really good way to analyze if
So are you going to say the N-word in a minute?
Well, I have no reason to.
Right.
It's not. See, you guys are immature with your
Triple dog dare. Triple dog dare.
Waving it around, just like you're like a kid who just got their first gun or something. Anyways,
a black guy did give you the N-word pass, and you did you use it or not use it? If he ever gave it to you,
this was literally last night, by the way.
Yeah, a black guy wanted something to drink, and he said he would give you an N-word pass if you bought him something to drink.
Well,
Where was this?
Did you accept?
There was a homeless guy outside the gas station, and he asked if we would buy him a Coca-Cola, and so I said sure. And then a certain someone who was in our party said, "Can I get the N-word pass for it?"
Oh my god!
And he said sure. So I was like, all right. So we got him some Coca-Cola, we got him some water, and then
Nobody said the N-word.
The end of the story is sort of interpreted.
Nobody
not
for
believe
sure.
that.
Nobody
It's
said
sort of
the-
like a choose
Nobody
your
would
own
ever-
adventure.
Who would
Don't
ever say
believe
the
that.
N-word? Why would you do that? I don't even want to say the. I don't even want to give the shortened
Do you
version.
think I would
That
say the
word.
That is
N-word
saying it.
to a
Yeah.
homeless
Don't
black
say it.
person? That seems like a dangerous situation.
Who would
Who
say
would
the
you
N-word
say
to a
it
homeless
to?
black
No
person?
one,
That's
ever.
crazy.
Ever. Even if there was like an emergency, like say the N-word. No.
You need to start drinking your abortion juice. Go.
Okay.
You'd be martyred by the left if you did that.
Well, I've always said that if I were to die, I'd want to go out on my feet T-posing in front of a firing squad, and I'd have one last game. Any last words, Fash? And I'd be like, nope, no last words.
Oh.
Not a single
He was
one.
gonna say no.
Not a single
He was
one.
gonna say no.
I thought it was coming for a second.
No.
No.
I'm gonna
No.
drink
So are
my
you gonna
forced
go to
vaccination
Atlanta?
juice and be quiet.
Yeah, well, see, okay, so
Have you
Like
been
to
to
go to
Atlanta?
Atlanta?
yes.
Oh, okay.
No, so the reason I call myself a black person expert, of course it's a joke, but it's true in the same way that Elijah is probably a Hispanic person expert. You know, I
I
grew
feel
up.
like I called you the black person expert.
Wait, why is
Didn't
Elijah a Hispanic person?
He
expert?
actually is the official black person expert of
true.
Slightly Offensive.
It's true.
He
I
actually
know
comes
that.
on to commentate, most people bring on black people, like on Fox
You
News,
bring
like,
on John.
to talk about black issues. Here's Brandon Tatum, which is cool.
Yeah.
Brandon's cool. To talk about black people, I don't want someone who's blinded by their own bias. I buy someone
Exactly.
who's on the outside. John.
Literally, and he's so smart for this because I grew up 15 minutes outside of Detroit. Every weekend of my childhood, I was in the churches in the inner cities, not in Hart Plaza, not in the downtown area, like in the neighborhoods that look like war zones. So I unironically do feel as though I can speak with a degree of credibility about black culture, and
When
I'm not
did his
gonna
episode go up?
And I'm not going to apologize
Yeah,
for
go
that
check on
because
that.
people want to talk about racial politics and they'll only say, oh, well, you can only say positive things about black people and only negative things about white people. And that's a really good barometer to check if the person with whom you're speaking is being honest.
Yeah.
If they're, okay, you want to talk about racial politics, name me one thing you don't like about black people. And they're going to go, and it's like, there's got to be something, right? Or at least name me one positive thing then, if you don't want to do that, about white people. No, because this is outside of the established parameters of discussion. They will be uncomfortable with this and therefore they won't do it.
Oh, there's a John.
February 19th.
Okay, so check the comments because there might be a pinned comment or one of the most liked comments that said, "Way to have black people expert on during
So
Black
good
History
of you
Month."
to have a black people expert on during this Black History Month.
And
Yes.
it
From
was,
Matthew Loom.
the brothers appreciated that
Oh,
gesture.
gee, the brothers.
And out of John's totally non-autistic originality, his black person expert t-shirt on his merch store is literally just his name card from my show printed on a t-shirt. So it's A+ for creativity, but it doesn't matter. You don't need to be creative when you're trying to change the world for the better. And the thing about John is when it comes
My
to
merch was creative. This guy.
No, I'm saying you are
Hey,
creative for
he
the better.
sneak dissing, bro.
You're creative for the
Check
better.
this disrespect, bro. You feel me?
Dude, I was gonna say this is the problem. I get. My wife gets mad at me because she says that when I'm ever in like hood areas, which we were last night, she says every time you talk to black people, you have a different accent, and I don't notice it because she's not from America; she's Australian.
Yeah.
But John does it too. Like we'll just be talking, and I feel like maybe it's just accidental because it's like you just did it right now.
What?
It's like someone will be like, it'll be like,
he
hey,
did.
something like, yo, can I, yo, what's up, fam? Can I get a Coke? And he'll be like, yo, you lacking.
Wait, do you guys sneak in? You know what I'm
No,
saying?
that doesn't
at
make
all?
any sense. Why would you say that's?
See, he knows. He knows so much about how to talk to black people because he's an expert that he's even correcting me. And I take it. I take the correction.
I'm gonna
I take the correction.
Who?
You want to know who really knows?
Do you have a black cousin?
I have a cousin who's he rubs the same set as me. Do you feel me? Hold on.
I think John really is autistic, and not based on anything like this.
Hey,
I thought that's settled.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, what up with a cut?
What's up with you, huh?
Hey, bro, I'm on a show right now. I just wanted to talk with you for a little bit.
You with a what?
I'm on a show, bro, right now.
Oh, right now, shit. Wait, so I can't talk crazy.
Nah, don't talk crazy. Just say what's up to the little homies, you know?
What's your thought on the last election?
Man, nigga.
Do we end it there? He said it though. I mean, right? Like, wait, hold on. While we're still talking, John, can you bring up? Do you have a picture of him? I just want to see it just to verify.
Hold on.
Is that a white person? Who was that?
That's what I need to know.
Is that
Can
a
you-
white person?
No. No. He's black. Don't worry. He's black.
Have you cried on any other show before?
When I laugh really hard, I cry.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just
Okay.
laughing because of how poorly that looks us out of context.
Oh, IDG out of context. John Doyle out of context. Your Steele out of context. All of the out of contexts are gonna have that up. Please have a field day with that.
My gosh.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
let's
Who
go.
was that? No. Backtrack.
Oh, yeah,
I have no
show-
problems in
get a
my personal life
get a
already,
picture of him
John.
so
How do
I
we
can see
know
it.
that person is actually
Well,
black?
Well, because you trust me. Obviously.
I mean, I do. Why?
And
yeah.
also, I mean, I don't know how cynical you are, but why would a white person in 2022 even dare say that word?
Yes.
Come on.
even
true.
he knew. He's like, hey, I'm on a show.
It's all these people.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
okay.
him.
Someone that looked like this.
Actually, that's my cousin.
Somebody looked like it's his cousin. So one of these. Pick
Oh my
one.
gosh.
Okay, we're about to get into another spicy question.
Okay.
Oh man.
Okay.
We'll just bring this up every time we feel like we're something problem. We just lift this one up and then we put it back down.
Can you screenshot that and
Yes.
text it to me just so I can put it up under here?
Yes, it just shows you that like the one it looked like these people that said
Right.
that word because no one that didn't look like that wouldn't say it.
Exactly.
And what I mean by look like that is in good looking, attractive people.
I agree. Do you think your spouse should be your best friend?
No.
No, I don't think that's. I don't even like the phrase "best friend" when it comes to a spouse. Like, I think that's a modern term of like, yes, a woman would say, "Yeah, you're my best friend," but like, we're not friends. We're spouses.
We're spicy.
And there's a friendship in this. There's a friendship in this in the spousal union, but
Right.
you're unified. And I think people look at it like a friendship. And if you see how shitty a lot of friends can be, or people that you thought were your friends, and then people betray people all the time, which is why, like in marriage, we have no fault divorce. That is just kind of like, oh. Everything's like, you betrayed me. Our friendship's over. It's like, well, it's not a friendship. You're tied. You got to, even if you make mistakes, you got to figure your shit out because you're together. Obviously, there's real cases for divorce. I'm saying where like, people are in danger. There's, you're being abused, etc. There's massive infidelity. I mean, things happen that can really make people break up. But overall, the idea of thinking of your spouse as a best friend, I think is what leads people to be like, oh, I'm just going to find a new best friend that I have sex with. And it's like, that's not what marriage is. And marriage shouldn't break apart very easily. I have a very interesting view on it too. Like, I just think people look at divorce usually as the last step where they already wanted to get out of the friendship, but they're bound by a contract. And so they're looking for an excuse. Something happens.
Right.
And then they use that as the excuse. And since there's no fault, the only excuse you really need is I think it's called irreconcilable differences, right? What's it called?
Reconcile. Yes.
Yeah. So it's just like, it's like that. And so I don't like that, but I want to say to the girls that are listening that are like all 6 of you, it's like probably like 95% men that's on YouTube usually. It's like,
Yeah, but
More
the audio
women.
downloads are women.
yes,
and
okay.
Instagram are-
It's okay to the blind viewers here that are all my females that are listening, paying attention, the guys that are not paying attention. I mean, I get the best friend terminology. You say it to your wife, we're best friends, we love each other, but it is something so much more fundamental and spiritual that friendship can't match.
I really do have a feeling, when we ask this question to Trump, he's going to say, oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, best friends, we're best friends.
You think so?
I think so.
I liked that.
I think that's not even good, but I think that's...
It wasn't great, but I did like the sentiment.
yeah.
The key
Thank
to
you.
the Trump impression is much more the speech pattern than it is the voice. Alec Baldwin did a terrible one, which I think he won an Emmy for because he was just, and Trump, very bad. And, all of my tweets, well,
You're right.
on Twitter, on my Instagram posts are always done in the Trump vernacular,
It's about the hands.
It's the hands,
about the
but it's really,
hands.
the speech
You got
patterns.
it.
He'll speak for about 3 minutes to get one idea out. And he's just such an incredible orator. And I just really wish he were the king
Listen,
of America.
can't even
But
do
to
it.
answer that question, I think Elijah's
Good
totally
time with the
right. And I
coffee
can't
and
speak to this with as much credibility because, of course, I'm not married because I am dedicated to the movement. But
Stay away from women, man.
it's real, literally real. But anyways, I think it's true. And I think it's because, as he mentioned, the idea of marriage has become so watered down to where now people can only conceptualize it as like a friendship. Like, oh, like if you ask anybody, when you're dating someone, what do you look for? Well, we have to like the same music and shows. It's all basically derived from like
Boring.
media preference.
Yeah.
Capitalism.
And like, oh, well, we have to both like hiking. And it's like, that's really what's going to happen when your kid comes home and it's like, oh, Dad, I got bullied today. And then you're going to be like, oh, and then all of a sudden you find out you have different attitudes toward that. But then it's like, okay, at least we like hiking or something like that. It's
He's
like,
very, very right.
and I think the problem with that is
That's
because
true.
nobody actually has values anymore. So
Yeah.
there's not even that to discuss. So it's like, okay, let's just distract ourselves with like media. And, oh, well, they like Chipotle and I like Chipotle. And like, I'm being so cute right now because
Soulmate.
on our wedding day, I'm going to say in my vows, and I will always only go to Chipotle with you. And everyone's like, oh my God, this is so cute. And then
Accurate.
I walk in there, I'm like, hey, I don't think I was invited.
but wait, we're real fast. But I'm gonna say this genuinely. It's like, but the point is I just think like using the phrase "best," that's my best friend is very fair, and I like using that. Like, you tell your wife, you go to bed. Genuinely, guys
Yes.
that are married, girls, like, yeah, am I your best friend? Of course, you're my best friend. Someone says, who's your best friend? My wife. But it's
I would
like-
never say that,
Like,
though.
like no,
That-
but I
I-
meant, but I'm. Would you? I just say like I love her and we hang out the most, but I always go genuinely in my life. That's not what I mean by that. She is we love each other and we're there and we have a good time, but it's not actually a friendship. It's like spouse. But I still use the phrase just like I mean, I say a lot of things too. Like
Right.
I just use it as a phrase, but I think that it's cheapened in terms of like, maybe that's because I don't have any friends.
My best friend's name is Ron. He lives in New York, and we've grown apart over the years, but I still love you, man.
Have I met him?
No.
It's your spouse.
Yes.
Ron.
Thank you for that one, Kenzie.homie. Probably just home.
Home.
Why wouldn't you
H-O-L-M-E,
use it?
home.
Why wouldn't you use it?
Kenzie Home. Me?
Yeah, you said no.
Well, because
Careful, he's right there.
Because my husband is so much more than my friend, and friend inherently means that there is a lack of physical intimacy or a lack of. I mean, I guess any intimacy.
2022.
I mean, that's true too. But I mean, a best friend to me, that's such a downgrade. And it's like, I feel bad for all of the men who have been friend zoned by their wife.
Yeah.
Because if you act like your husband's just your best friend, like it's no wonder you have so many women that don't put in any effort for their husband and they're in sweatpants all the time and they look really gross when they come home at the end of the day, but they'll put it on during the day. They'll go to the office and they'll put on the cute dress or the pencil skirt and they'll put on their best face and you know, they'll flirt with everyone at the office and they come home and they just give their husband nothing because it's her friend. And I genuinely feel bad for all the men who've been friend zoned by their wives.
I was gonna say that, by the way. This is gonna be a very sexist comment to some people, but this is also just true. And it's epically true and it's honest. Is that's one of the main reasons why I won't let my wife work. People say won't let her. Well, she doesn't want to work. Number one, because she has work at home to do and things to do with the family. But also too, like I told her, I don't want you under another man's authority. Like I don't want you to like have some other man you got to suck up to. And she's like, but like obviously some women work. I go, yeah, I don't want you the authority of a woman either. I don't want you under the protection of a woman. Yeah, I go, that's
woman under authority of a woman.
A woman having any authority over a man is satanic.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but
right,
that's what I was saying. I go, I don't want you in that position. And I just go, she doesn't want that either. And I'm just like, you know, like I don't mind using the phrase that best friend thing too, because I think it's a multifaceted, like there's just so many aspects of it. Like, I mean, she is my sex slave as well. No, I'm just kidding. But meaning like we joke around a lot in the family, but I think that women working and what they actually go out and do is like actually an abomination and causes problems. Because if you're walking as a woman trying to please other men, there should only be one man that a woman is trying to please. That's her husband. And I just don't think that a woman living any other way is the right way. I don't know. It's just, I mean, maybe that's, there you go. There's the conservative
you
in me.
think about the women who work in the office and they sleep with their phone under their pillow and they answer all of his emails and they'll answer his every call. And it's like, but she doesn't do that for her husband.
That's just a movie cliche.
No, I know plenty of women who are like that.
They want to be
dependents.
They want to be dependents on a male-run corporation that doesn't care about them instead of like dependents on their husband that does care about them.
Yeah,
and then sometimes they get pit bulls. Ooh.
Oh, don't, John, drink coffee. Go.
Wait.
Go,
No,
go,
what's
go.
with you and
Stop,
Fleckus,
stop.
honestly, about all this bullshit about the pit bulls?
Oh, are you a pit daddy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not currently, but I
hate
did.
pit bulls.
Okay, let's talk about pit bulls.
Pit mixes are the worst.
Yes.
Everybody's
Listen,
pit
in the
mix
one
isn't
story,
violent,
listen, the
except
one
for
story that
everyone.
I did tell about the pit bull who attacked the other dog the day
Why
that
did
I
you
brought
even
him
tell
home.
that story if you're a pit daddy?
Because the other dog was a pedophile, and I'm righteous in the decision of bringing him home.
Do you understand that pit bulls were literally I think the name even pit bull comes from literally throwing
Listen,
dog
listen.
breeds into a pit, breeding whichever one survived, and just going and going
Yeah,
until
I
they
believe
created
Sure,
like a
modern
pit bull.
nomenclature, whatever. But the history of those terrier mixes to begin with, it's all a media fabrication because first it was freaking Dobermans, then it was German Shepherds, then it was Rottweilers, now it's pit bulls.
No, it's-
yes, it is. But it is because pit bulls have only been popular for like what, the last 50 years?
But
maybe?
those dogs
brought
still
a pit bull
exist, and
today.
they have data on the attacks, and it's still vastly pit bulls. Like it's always pit. Like a pit bull can hear like me drop this bottle cap, freak out, and like rip Josiah's throat out. Like that's just what they
I got
do.
bit by a pit bull. They attacked my dog. It's a pit mix. It's always a pit mix that attacks my dog. And the reason
What
why
was your dog doing? What was he wearing?
my dog still has his balls. My dog has his balls, and dogs don't like it when the other dogs have the big. My dog has big nuts. He's got big dick energy.
Wait. You haven't
What kind
gotten
of
him
dog?
fixed?
No, we don't believe in that.
You know why I really
We
hate
don't
pit
take
bulls?
the balls off of dogs.
They represent to me the spiritually liberalized nature of the dog conversation as something symptomatic of the whole country. Think about it. Every time a pit bull does anything, we know it's violent. We know that it's just like that. But every time, oh, well, you know, it was the owner. Oh, well, the dog. Always making excuses for just bad behavior.
I'd say the same
That is
thing if it was a Chihuahua or like a
Really?
pin-
Because why are all the bad owners then buying pit bulls? You ever noticed that?
Well, here's the thing. The media wants to lift up the pit bull violence because yes, their bites are more harsh.
The media has an anti-pitbull agenda.
Of course,
the pitbulls are going to fight the
Look at
new
all
world
the
order.
politicians who
Coffee
put
now.
in the anti-pitbull legislations that you can't have certain
Okay,
dogs. in
red
certain
pill me.
cities.
Why in society are we always defending the most violent among us and trying to say that they're not?
Because the pit bulls are the protectors of children,
yeah,
and to
that's
deny
what
that
Pitbulls
is
kill children like literally every day. Literally every day.
that's because they're little. They happen to be bigger dogs, but other dogs
Bro,
bite kids
you
more
goofy,
often.
bro. You
no, I'm
tripping.
not. No,
There are
I'm
some
not. If you
humans that
like,
kill children
if
every
you
day,
do
too.
dislike pit bulls, you like pedophiles, you like Satanists. That's the pure truth
Yeah,
of it.
buy your
You
girlfriend a
can't
pit bull so
handle
she
a
can
dog,
fuck it while you go
which
to
is
work.
why-
That's literally the
which is-
state
no,
of the
which
American.
is why
It's
you
true.
hate pit bulls.
White women
You can't
fuck their pit
handle-
bulls. That's what you're feeding into. You're gonna buy your girlfriend a nice little pit
Well, the
bull,
pit bull's
and then you're
fixed
gonna
to
go to
begin
work.
with.
Where'd that come from?
It's true. White women fuck their pit bulls. It's true.
That's,
I don't
I
know
have.
where we
This
have
is a
arrived.
fact.
I
And
have,
he's
I have
seen it.
seen it.
I'm acting shocked, but it's true. And they do it with cows
Well,
sometimes
I want
as
you to
well.
look up
But
the.
that's
I
also
want
true.
you to
Farm
look
girls.
up the numbers of
No, it's
deaths
always a
by
pit mix.
dogs before 1960, and then the
Stop it.
popularity of pit
Go
bulls.
to a dog park.
obviously-
I have to go, and every time there's like, I'm so sorry. He's usually so nice. If you have to put a sticker
You
on
do
the
hear
back
that
of
a
your
lot.
car.
He's usually so nice.
Listen,
You do
I've
hear
been
that a lot.
someone that said
but
that.
if they
but
have
that's
to get a
because the
sticker being
other
like,
dogs,
my pit bull is gentle. Like I don't have to tell people my dog. My dog is psychotic. He's on methamphetamine. He's a Vizsla.
Adriana,
and I don't
can you
have,
see
if
the
I put
levels? Are
stickers
we
up
just
like
spiking
my dog's
everywhere?
calm, it's a cope. Like my dog's just not calm. He's
What
crazy. He's
kind
not
of dog do you
violent. A Vizsla.
Dude,
What
literally.
the fuck
Look
is
it
it?
up.
Every time,
It's a Hungarian,
every time you see a
hunting
story
dog.
and you see him once a week, if you look for him, of like family dog who they had for 8 years, all of a sudden snaps and kills owner. And then people reply to it on Twitter, oh, he's so vicious, with a picture of their pit bull like sleeping. And it's like, wow, bro, you really just
But the
brought that
same
woman
thing-
back
the
to
same
life.
thing happens with pinchers, Dobermans,
No, it does not.
shepherds.
Not on the same frequency.
No, well, that's just because
Okay,
what you
all right,
see.
so
That's
let's-
what they want to show you.
Yeah, the media doesn't want the German shepherds to
They
be.
don't.
Okay.
What's wrong
They
with the
don't.
Germans?
Okay, so
They never did
it
anything
says
wrong.
this is the first stat that comes up. Pit bull terriers are 48% more likely to attack without provocation than any other breeds.
They're protecting. Yes.
You're so gay. No, they're
So
not.
wait,
I'm sorry.
Mike,
Yeah,
so-
wreck me in the comments if you want. That's fine. But I stand by the pit
Hey,
bull.
well, I said that I still tell my wife that she's my best friend, so we're all taking an L.
So hold on,
guess
can we
so,
go
yeah.
back to the whole thing where
Except
white
yours
women
actually
fuck
kills
their pit
people,
bulls?
so there's that one.
You're
you-
particularly interested in
No,
that?
I don't understand.
His L kills children, so
I think I saw
mean,
one
there's a
news story about that.
Hold on. You guys talk. I have to whisper.
Are you
something
gonna
to
gossip
Elijah.
something? You're gonna gossip
I'm
on
gonna
air.
do it in front of you.
You
too.
cannot do that to me. I'm trying to listen to what they're saying.
Okay. Think about it this way.
I didn't hear much of it.
Depending on the stage of life
Yeah.
that a white woman is in, you will see her do something in her mid to late 20s. If she gets a small dog, she is coping for not having a child.
Okay.
If she gets a
Yes.
larger dog, both male, if she gets a male dog in general, she's coping for not having a husband. Now, pit bulls, think about it, they're these very masculine, aggressive dogs. And I'm not saying this because I'm weird about it. I'm saying this because white women are the ones having sex with their pit bulls. This is a thing.
Wait,
that
what are the
happens.
metrics on this?
I'll look it up.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to think of
I'm
a
not,
white woman I
this
know
is
who
my
has a pit bull.
specialty. It's like if there's anything we should.
I don't know if
look
the
up,
CDC
that's
is
where I
tracking
go.
this, but it's real. I've seen articles before where, like, you know, white women are interacting with their pit bulls in a
Interacting.
abominable manner, and then they get like attacked by them because
I don't think I know any white women who have pit bulls, so I can't
I'm
think of.
going to say the same thing. I had 2 pit bulls throughout my life. I don't know any women in general that have had pit bull. Oh wait,
Female sexuality is a
no,
very
I know a
bizarre
couple.
thing.
I
It
know a
is
couple,
very
but through
bizarre thing.
Instagram, not personally.
because it's all based
Okay.
on power.
Well, this is not good because it starts out with the Google search. Some results may be explicit, so apparently this is common. But I'm not going to go do something. I'm going to go to specifically to Reddit, which is
How did
somebody
this
go
start?
to Reddit. I'd like to
The
see
question.
this. Okay.
I don't think about pit bulls in the question.
So basically, is
You're here.
people are
You are here.
arguing about this. Why are white women having sex with dogs?
real.
I'm not. I don't know. Is this okay? That was a picture of a dog having sex with a white woman.
Okay.
And I haven't seen that until today. Thanks for inviting me on your podcast. Hey, John, you're a good friend. Don't get to have fun. I'm going back to the black people.
So thank you for that one,
You did
Kenzie
not
down
actually
home
just see
for
that.
that friend.
Don't show me.
I'm not going to show you. I'm just putting the black people back up.
Okay, put the black people back up. How did we get?
I
on
feel,
pit bulls?
please, I'm getting anxious. I feel a lot safer around black people than pit bulls.
Yeah. Well,
I can't believe I just did that.
It's not
Second time.
photoshopped.
what is it
all
with
right.
white women?
Just going back. and
Yeah.
just doing it.
Um.
Wait, how do we?
What is it with white women? That is
boy.
a genuine
Question though, is this a
That's
confirmation
why John Doyle
bias
dates
though?
brown girls.
Question though, is
I don't
this
think
just
it would
that
be
people are
considered
into
literally
bestiality porn?
defamation.
Are people into bestiality porn and they'd watch a lot of it, and so then it's like maybe bestiality porn is being made in white countries? Because I feel like, and maybe the pit bulls are the most aggressive animal because I
She
think
was
there's a
very
lot
blonde.
I don't want
Yeah.
to describe it to the audience. I'm not trying to describe it. We were going there.
Imagine someone like a woman doing a push-up.
Can we not?
Sorry.
How about that? How about can we not?
I need to drink my vaccine water.
Advice. Oh, how would
Target.
you suggest finding a good Christian woman in today's society?
Well,
Michael C. Millerelli.
she's probably not going to spend a lot of time on Reddit or the internet in general. But I would say, obviously, go to the place where those tend to dwell, which would be your church.
I would say though that the key thing is on social media. One of the key factors is because the likelihood of someone not having much social media is that they don't have a lot of pictures and they're not all selfies. So that's a number one thing, because it's like, and I mean this genuinely, like men and women we're not meant to compete. We're not meant to compete in the workforce. We're not meant to compete. We're meant to be complementary. And social media, besides, obviously men love it for the money and women love it for the fame. It's just true. Like in many ways, women love the attention. There's always some selfie involved, trying to look cute, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, it's just so fucking stupid. Like we all know you just want people to validate you and you're looking for it. And if a woman's looking for validation on the internet, don't marry her.
Real.
Period.
Red flag.
Ever. Red flag. Bingo. And that doesn't mean she can't be a good friend, but that also means do not marry her. But like, it's like when I met my wife, she had like 4 pictures and the last one was updated like a year and a half ago from like when she was in Ireland, and it was like some vacation photos, and I'm like, did not know how this person looked. And I feel like then meeting her and talking to her, it was like, and then I got to know her. And that's the key thing too, where guys don't understand, is that if you're going after a woman simply just because you want to bone her, that's probably what you're going to end up just start doing. And like, you're not going to really love your wife or find a traditional woman by the first 2 weeks you're having sex. Like, it's just not going to work.
Yeah, I would also say to that, never be involved with a girl in any capacity who doesn't have like a deep fear of God, because and I don't really know the level at which women can really conceptualize God. I feel like, because you of course came from the rib, I feel like they're always going to kind of just peak at the level of like, there's a man in the sky who's going to get mad at me if I don't listen to him. And that's a good thing, because women need to be able to have this thing that they can't necessarily disprove is going to be mad at them and punish them. Because if they don't have that, they will always, given their nature as outlined of course in Genesis, they will always find a way to rationalize their own selfish desires, because every woman thinks the world revolves around her.
The
True.
unchecked feminine spirit.
It's so true.
Well, we're
And
not
she
gonna go
will
down
eventually...
Oh my gosh, it causes every problem in the world.
I wouldn't know anything
other than war.
I wouldn't know anything about that. Well, actually, between 1400 and 1900 in Europe, it was shown that female leaders declared more war than male leaders. So it actually
And all female leaders are in charge of the European Union, in charge of the war.
That's why everyone's gay now. Facts.
Order,
But-
yeah. So,
But
You hear
anyways,
about those Ukrainian models who were
Fighting
killed, who were killed because
oh shoot, I was trying to laugh. Wait, hold on.
no, the Ukrainian models
I
went
don't know
to
this.
the border somewhere, and I think were LARPing, like dressed up as soldiers.
Yeah, I
like,
saw
in front
that
of
part.
tanks,
They
and
got
then
killed?
They got like bombed close range. And
but
killed.
anyways, if
Sorry.
you are married to a
Oh
woman
my
and
gosh.
she is afraid of losing you, or she's afraid of divorce or whatever, in a long enough timeline, whether that's 50 years, 100 years, 200 years, hypothetically speaking, she will eventually rationalize her own desires over. And this is why literally, and I made this point in the last video, it was illegal for women to leave their husbands. You needed the states to enforce that, because we used to be a serious country that was serious enough to recognize the nature of women. So the left is kind of right when they're like, oh, America was a patriarchy. And the right says, no, we weren't. The correct answer is, yes, we were. And that was necessary. Like if you went back to the founding fathers era and tried to talk with them about this, they would probably tell you something to the effect of, men need to literally oppress women to prevent their chaotic nature from manifesting throughout
Chaotic
society.
nature, that's the one.
And you would look at them and you would say, okay, 1, you're an incel, and 2, that's like really mean. You should read all these books.
Well, men are the order and women are chaos.
Gina, please. I was and you would say,
Woman interrupting a man's train of thought.
and you would say,
The unchecked feminine
it
spirit.
literally is. And you would say, well, you're an incel and that's really mean. And then he would say, oh, well, do you have any evidence from your time to disprove this? And your eyes would just glaze over, because it's true. So the point being, if this woman that you're interested in does not have a deep fear of God, she will eventually screw you over. She has to be rooted in something greater than both of you, because, you're not going to out alpha Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or Brad Pitt, all these guys who are literally S tier, the Chads of society, yet they're involved with women who do not fear God, and then they take half their money. They leave them. You're just not going to do it. I don't care how many times you read the 48 Laws of Power, how many times you practice how to like run game, bro. You're not going to out alpha.
Samson, it's the Philistine women. It's they come,
Manosphere.
the thing is, which, as you mentioned earlier, you got to be careful for, guys, is this. What Philistine women do, if you go to the story of Samson, is that they're looking to find out your secrets. They want you to gossip and they want to find this out. And men we do not want to do this. So they come and they give you sex and they're hot and attractive. No,
That's the gayest thing about you.
I meant
No, by far.
I mean this genuinely, is that this is the Samson thing, is that it's like men, do not tell women your weaknesses. Do not tell them, because women work by trying to ruin your reputation, and they also work by slandering, and that's what women always do. You can always, every time you hear anybody attacked, it's usually 99.9% or 104% bullshit, and it's always some like bullshit accusations. So they do this kind of shit, and that's what happened with Samson. It's like they're trying to come in, find out what his weakness is. People that aren't familiar, it was his hair being long in his covenant with God, that he was extra strong. And every time she would sleep with him, she would ask him the same thing. She would give him sex and be like, give me your information, share with me your weaknesses, because she wanted to use his weaknesses against him to take him down. But he ended up giving it up. God restored him, so that's actually good. He ended up still being counted righteousness in Hebrews. But on the flip side of things, with men, hot, godless women will give you sex so that they can compromise you and that they can find out your weaknesses and they can use it against you to destroy you when you're strong. So fuck those kind of women.
They're succubi.
Don't fuck them.
They're literally succubi.
Sorry.
But I guess the bottom line of that would be
choice of
that,
words.
you know, men and
Fine.
women are both predisposed towards sin. It's in our nature. We are fallen, but women are predisposed towards sin at an accelerated rate relative to men. So it doesn't mean that we're like better. We're all sinners. We're all fallen. But in a vacuum, I mean, it was woman who took the apple, right?
The
We learned this
apple.
in 1 Timothy.
no apple.
So the point is simply that without
There's
God,
no apple?
We've never said apple. We've made that up. That was a cartoonist. But
you know
Oh,
what
I
I mean.
see what you're saying.
Without God, we can't be moral. And so even if you're incidentally moral because you're not out there, you know, necessarily being a bad person, without God actively in your life, you can't be a moral person. And so you need that, but she also needs that, because if she doesn't have that, you're definitely going to be screwed.
Michael Morelli, grazie.
that's pretty good. These are good questions.
Jake Zamora, number 2, has 2 things to say to you. Oh, this
To
is so
him?
stupid. No, to you. Why
Oh.
am I reading this? Eli Jar Jar Binks.
Okay. They always just spell my name very weird. I don't know where that happened, and it's just been
He
going
also
on.
wants to know, why do you always wear pants too short for you, ankle boy?
I just am tall, and my ankles are slutty. People don't realize this. My left ankle is transgender, and my right ankle is gay. When I stand up, they fit perfectly. It's just this thing called being blessed and gifted in height. Very few men understand this blessing and this gift. There's I think only 4% of men are my height, or I think my height or taller.
Height?
So
Yeah. It all went to his spine and not necessarily his brain.
yeah, I have
She was making fun of
I
that.
was born with a lisp, and I couldn't speak properly till I was 4 years old.
Height.
I can't keep my tongue back.
Oh, I see.
That's a good thing for all the ladies out there.
Yeah. Oh.
All right.
Oh.
So this is a question. Joseph Chavez
Rosenbaum?
wants to know. No.
Oh, he's dead.
It's an interesting question. How close do you think we are to an alien invasion that are really fallen angels? Next question from as often as possible kind. Oh, no, wait. As often as possible, be kind. There should be
people
comment
just
there
send
somewhere.
questions
Is that a
in, and they just say
username?
stuff like, "My mom
Yeah.
abused me," and you're like, "Oh,
I don't screen
I'm
them. I just.
sorry."
Who is your favorite political commentator to collaborate with? Evidenced here.
Is it
What do
John
you-
Doyle
yeah,
and
that's what I was
the people,
about
the
to
hosts
say.
of the show?
He's gonna
Mine's
give a
Elijah
completely
Schaffer.
different answer.
Yeah.
Wait, do they have to still be alive?
No, it's that you
No,
have
who's your
com-
favorite
you
one
like-
to collaborate with
you
now?
Oh, that I
collaborate
have?
with now. Not that you would, that you collaborate with.
Well, it's got to be Elijah.
That's nice.
It's interesting because I paid for the
That was
coffee,
with a
so
lot
he
of
knew.
enthusiasm.
This one is Zane
Yeah, you
McClin.
could tell he's really genuine.
What do you think the reasons for a section of Gen Z becoming more auth-right are?
Recognizing that which is necessary to actually preserve our country. It's simply that.
What did you say? Off right?
Authoritarian, right?
Oh, off.
Oh, I heard
Off.
off.
Yeah.
I heard off right. That's actually a good state. That's even better than like hard right. Just like off right. Like we are like off the edge. We are
Off-right.
ready to go.
By the way,
you might have invented something here.
Yeah.
Off right.
Well, that's a new clothing brand because there's off-white. We can make auth-right.
they want you to think this because it makes you impotent and not threatening to the establishment, but authoritarianism and tyranny are not the same. Authoritarianism is saying there is right and wrong. Libertarianism is saying, make up your own mind. And when you cede that vacuum and say, well, we're just going to leave it on the table, they can do what we want. Then people who actually believe there is right and wrong, but they want to be on the wrong side, then they come and they pick up all those resources and institutions and they take them away from you. And that's exactly what's happened in this country. So the reason we are becoming auth-right, which we're like, oh, that's so scary. No, it's not. It's actually epic, because we are actually going to have the will to take the country back by declaring there is right and wrong. And we are not going to cede the power vacuum to literal communists. We're going to use it against our enemies, against evil, and for good. And that's the only way, by the way. That is why everything that you've learned throughout Hollywood and media has taught you, oh my gosh, the worst thing ever is when there's a dictator and a bad guy and authority, like all these, even Star Wars, it's like, oh, the empire is so bad. People need to be free. They need you to think that freedom is the ultimate good, so that you're there, you're off the fence, you're whatever, I don't care. And then they march down the field. You leave all your doors open and they come through and they literally rape your kids. So if this makes you uncomfortable, that makes sense, because conservatives, I'm so close. I just have one more point I want to make. Conservatives, they want to win so bad, right? They'll say, oh, I want to win. But they don't know anything except but to lose, because that's all they've done. And so logically, that's the only thing that they are comfortable with, because that's all they know how to do. So when you come around and you say, well, you actually are going to have to be a little bit more auth-right if you want to win, they're like, oh, well, we can't do that. That's scary, because they literally cannot conceptualize what it will take to win, because all they've done is lose.
Mm-hmm.
Elijah.
Huh. Well,
Elijah, do you not like authority?
That's a good question. That's actually, for a lot of my life, I've lived that way. But no, I mean, what is interesting with the authoritarian right ideal is that obviously this is a correction for the democracy that we currently experience. We were never meant to live under. Like, this was never meant to be. I don't know if you saw today, but Joe Biden is talking about mandatory voting, creating universal laws so that everybody has to vote. And so obviously this is totally backwards. This is not what this country was instituted to. To be represented as. We wanted a republic. We wanted a specific type of representative. I'll let you read history books to find out what that was meant to be. I'll let you look around you and find out once that was changed, what it became, see if we made good decisions along the way. But, ultimately speaking, I don't mind the correction as young people are moving authoritarian to try to take something back by force, essentially long term. It just seems like a little bit of a LARP to me, or a bit of a bit, because I meet a lot of the people that have these ideas online in person, and they're very timid. They haven't really developed into men, and this is what makes me nervous, because there's a huge lack of gap between the ones who believe in this and their beliefs are correct, but it's like, then they'll be like, oh, hey, yeah, you're a fag. And then I meet them in person, and then they're scared because they're like 5'7" and thin, and they don't get a lot of sunlight, and they're cool. And I don't mean this in any disrespect. And it's like, well, part of being a man or being authoritarian is like, you got to also be that kind of man that could implement that if you want to. And you got to move out of your parents' house. You got to go into the world. You got to make money. You got to be strong. You got to get influence. You got to be charismatic. John's a good example of this, going out and developing. And I feel like there's this lack of connection between the weaker generations who are mature, who have money and influence and connections, and the younger generation who want to change the direction they put, but they ignore the older direction. So they're not making connections. They're not getting contacts. They're not getting good positions. They're not making the influence they need. And it makes me question then, well, how do we bridge the gap to bring those ideas out of just people in obscure Telegram or different types of social media into the real world conversation? Because as long as they can keep things in the very fringe where no one can really get the financing, the money, the power, the organizational capabilities, then really these are just ideals and they're not reality. And so like, I'm more in the mode of like, okay, it seems like we're just puffing smoke up our ass in echo chambers of like, yeah, you're right, that's what we should do to correct it. But like, nobody's saying how we actually go about doing it. Or no, I don't see very many people other than John and other people. There's a few others too that are actually trying to make it happen. I just think the 4 guys aren't going to accomplish it, and there needs to be more men that rise up. That's all I'm saying. I'm hoping they do. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's
It do.
I just want to see. I want it to go from ideas to like show me then, because anyone can say anything.
Yeah.
Everyone can be more based and trad and conservative, but then like you're not married and you don't have kids and you don't have a house and like
Give them time.
That's why a lot of these thinkers, I'm really excited to see where they are 10 years from now.
Right.
Yeah, but the thing about give them time is that, I mean, men 50, 100 years ago, they started young.
Yeah.
So this whole thing
True.
of we'll give them time, they're young.
Seize the day
disagree with that.
now.
No, I think now is the time. I think men, when they're 20, I think we're doing men a disservice to say, well, their frontal lobes don't really develop until they're 27 or 28.
And I've always hated that.
Great men did great things when they were young. So I don't like the argument. Well, just give them time. Wait till they're 30 or 40. I'm like, no, I think that men can do great things when they're young. I think that they can seize the day.
Well, I'm not saying give them time as in 10 years, be like, okay, start now. I'm saying I would like to see where they're at.
I agree with that. The problem is that the society,
I want to see
Yeah,
what happens.
the society that they perhaps rightfully feel betrayed by has created this sort of perpetualized adolescence to where, like, the example I always use is that historically this country, we would send 8-year-old boys on overnight journeys to go get horses like across the country and come and bring them back. And they were ready to do that. And this is like the same thing with child labor laws. And people think this is like a libertarian thing. It's not. Like, children should be able to work. Like, this whole like age of consent for employment is like part of that. Like this idea, you can't consent to, working unless you're 16. I remember being like 10, 11 years old. Like, I want some, that was my biggest problem. How do I get money? I would have to mow lawns. I would go to Salvation Army and buy clothes and try to sell them online. Like, I just wanted money, but I couldn't work because I wasn't mature enough. And that is part of it. Delaying responsibility. And that's all maturation is adding more responsibility. That's part of it. So, I agree with the sentiment with a lot of these like trad guys online where they're like, get married young. And it's like, you have to understand, people weren't getting married young because they just were. It was because they were ready. So it's not like they were 16, 17. They were just like, I don't know what to do. No, they were literally, I don't want to say groomed, but they were bred and taught how to be husbands, how to be wives. Ask any woman if her mother has ever had a conversation with her about what it means to be a wife. And frankly, if she's in the generation prior, she probably doesn't even know what that means. I mean, they got divorced and stuff. That's the most boomer thing, by the way. Total segue. That's how you know the national divorce is like a real boomer idea. Boomers' first instinct is just to divorce. Flee the cities, go to the suburbs. Leave the country, split it in half. Divorce your wife, just things like that. But yeah, so I think that it's a little bit more intricate than just, get married young, like Elijah said. And I can't hold them necessarily at fault because it's not like 30 years ago, they're just inside all day playing on their NES, just refusing to go outside and talk to girls. That economy doesn't exist anymore. I remember, I think I was probably the last, sort of class of young people, so to speak, to experience riding around my neighborhood on my bike or on my longboard, and every few houses you would see piles of bikes. Kids are having fun. They're outside. I don't see that anymore. Every time I go home, neighborhoods in Texas, nobody's outside doing anything anymore. And so it's not enough to just be like, oh, well, I'm outside, I'm doing things. There has to be a society, and there really was forever, that structured this sort of like young people economy where everyone's outside doing things. That's how you meet people. That's how you get social skills developed. So now they've destroyed that, and then they've really just put it in the ground with the whole COVID lockdown thing. So now you're going to have a generation of very dysgenic because of hormones, because of medication, prescription medications, mental illness, very dysgenic, very socially retarded people. And I think they're going to be the most angry generation probably in the history of the world, at least this country. And I want to channel that to get back at the mean people
but John,
who did this to us.
John, but this is what I'm saying, though. And this is where people always mistake what I'm saying as like trading in for weakness. I want to take both your points. The reason why I want to see where they are in 10 years is the same reason why I keep making the joke, by the way, about abortion and vaccine juice, meaning like, it's like, yes, I would love to support a local coffee brew house, but when you're going on a podcast, there is not a local coffee brew house that's delivering coffee so you can be on crack energy while you're on the best podcast in America right now. Very, 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 very true statement. But I meant like we live in a society. We live in a society. I meant, so you have to understand that, yes, ideals are true, but you also work with the resources you have. And this is why some houses are made of stone and some are made of wood. Depends where you live and what's available to you and the kind of house you need to build. And so it's like, yes, that's what I want to start bringing up is your idea of like, yes, seize the day. Let's go. Young men, stop waiting, but also realizing, like you said, with both your points, it's like, we do live in a society that is totally rigged against these people. And rather than being like a victim, it might take them longer. And it might, let's say it might take decades to keep reducing that decade growth to 9 years, then to 8 years. So 20 years from now, it'll take like 8 years, 30 years from now, it takes 7 years. And it might keep changing over the decades. And I mean this, I never score any points. I have a horrible career because everything I say is never really scores points in any team. It's more just like what I'm thinking, and no one likes you and you just end up in the middle. It's like my childhood all over again. But ultimately speaking, it's like, yeah, no, I'm not afraid of the authoritarians or the Gen Z. There are some people that are, and they won't even talk to them on their shows. There are people that literally are afraid of Gen Z. Who's like that? Who? You're scared of kids?
I know who.
Come on. No, I just like, what are you doing? There are lots of people. There's lots of people like that. No, there's nobody in particular.
Don't light up Gina's gossip eyes.
No, I'm talking about in general. Gina, stop. In general, how many show hosts How many show hosts will have anybody like Fuentes or John or Kai Clips or anyone on? How many? Not
I
very
can't
many.
wait to have Kai on. He just got swatted. Sweet little
Don't
Kai.
talk about it.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, how many of these people are willing to have these kids on? How many are? Not very few, because they're correct.
Right.
And when you're confronting ideals, what happens is that a lot of these kids speak really confidently because they're speaking an absolute idealistic truth. And there's no way to really combat the truth. But there is a way to come in and say, yes, but you also need to pair truth with wisdom, because there's the application of knowledge is wisdom and choosing it correctly. And so there is this idea of you seek knowledge and wisdom, the Bible says. And so what the older generation should do is not get spooked out like, oh, you got the perfect knowledge? I'm scared. It's like, well, I have some wisdom. So let's correct my knowledge with your ideal, and let's bring my wisdom into your lack of it, and let's come together and let's try to correct the world together. There's this dysgenic gap between the generations of Gen Z. Millennials sort of broke it, and they don't trust each other. And we don't just have a racial breakdown or a gender breakdown. We have a generational breakdown that's been happening forever. Even when we watched Disney Channel as a kid, the parents, the dads always like, oh, they live in a beautiful house, by the way, clearly like a $2 million house in like a Nashville suburb. And
The
it's like,
dad's just
"Oh,
retarded."
I didn't know who bought milk, and he spills it. And it's like, yeah, you afford a $2 million 12-bedroom house, and you don't know how to pour milk. Okay. So yeah, clearly. But anyway, I guess that's what cocaine usage does to a man. But I will say genuinely, that's where I'm coming in, where I'm going, there is a problem. Gen Z goes, well, we're right. You are. Millennials go, well, they don't have the wisdom, and they both stay in their camps. I'm trying to create an olive branch between the wisdom and the knowledge, and it really fucking makes everyone hate you, because it's like you are always connecting with the people that they don't like, and you're willing to compromise and see the difference of what they can add, and then everyone thinks you're a piece of shit. And then you get on a lot of shows, and you get on the best show in America. I'm here. I made it.
Well,
Damn it, I
we're
made it.
doing great because you are here. One of the problems too is that we live in a female-dominated society. So society is set up for women, right? The way that education is set up, the way that media and entertainment is set up, and even the way that politics is set up. Just the idea of Black Lives Matter and trans lives, that's a feminine thing. Equality and equity is a feminine idea. And so I think a major problem too is it makes it very difficult for young men to succeed, is because our society caters primarily to women, and it's a female-dominated. Great example, Lizzo. If any man exposed himself the way that Lizzo did, getting on a private jet, he would be called a sexual predator. He would be ostracized. He would be lambasted. But because we prop up women and their degeneracy, we end up with
Many
Lizzo
cases.
and her bare butt.
Women
ready, like-
accusing men of stupid shit that they do just because they can't accept their own failures.
Wait,
So
what?
it happens.
What I'm saying is, like, I think there are certain people that we've had on the show that I think are ready, and there are some people that I'd love to have. Boys.
I'm listening to you.
That makes me want to do it more.
Dick, this comes out. I'm gonna just hit you on the head.
Do you have a whip? Just whip him.
If my wife was here, she'd have one.
There's Reed back there. It's kind of whippy. No,
Oh boy.
well, I was just saying there's certain people that we do have on shows that I would like to have on shows. Some aren't ready yet, and that's why they haven't been invited on the shows yet. I'm gonna lose my shit.
Wait, who's not ready to come on the show?
No, there's certain people that are like, hey, get this kid on the show.
We
He
getting
seems pretty
Kai or what?
interesting.
They're not ready to get on the show. Why are they not ready to get on the show?
I just
These
don't.
are children. Just tell them to stop. Stop it. I'm trying to bridge the gap. He's trying to be smart. He's trying to help the show. He says a show, and he says, I have good ideas.
I've
Go
lost
ahead,
all
good idea,
control.
man.
I've lost all control.
Go, good idea, man.
No,
Please.
I'm done. We're moving on.
I wanted to hear it. It was interesting. I liked it.
Some of the kids aren't ready yet.
Because
Ooh.
they're not
See,
that
he's
talented.
not nice when he yells.
They're
He just
not
makes
ready.
everybody
They're
upset.
not ready yet.
No one's having fun. I'm doing good now. I was doing great.
Oh, now we're down.
God.
Now we're down to I'm
This is my fault.
Oh, yes. Here we go. Let's
Niston
cry.
wants to know.
Niston!
Yes, Niston's asking a question. This is probably for you. How do you feel about Black Rifle Coffee Company?
Clouds
I
about
think your
rifles and
Rittenhouse Black Rifle tweet exposed them for who they really are.
That could have went south. I
Wait,
wasn't
what
ready to
was
talk
the
about
Kyle
the first
Rittenhouse
part.
tweet really quick that they put out?
The abridged version is Black
shouldn't
Rifle
have
Coffee
hit you
Company tweeted something like, what did they tweet? Something like, we don't support, they just didn't support. He was wearing a Black Rifle Coffee t-shirt when he was bailed out or whatever. And they were
Right.
like, he doesn't represent us.
They said that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that whole thing was about. Yeah. Okay. That's gay.
And then they got
Yeah.
flamed.
I would, what? Do you know about that?
What?
Do you know about that? The Black Rifle thing?
Oh, yeah, because actually, wait, I have no affiliation with them, so I can just talk. So,
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you do?
Black Rifle
This was
Coffee
me.
Company, more like gay coffee company. Literally what these people do. And this is, by the way, the problem with conservatives. And I think we spoke about this.
But he can talk about it. Yeah.
I think that this is the problem when
what you
conservatives,
said, and I
and I
want to
think
do it
that
again.
we discussed this last time I was here. How whenever conservatives try to create media or culture, because they don't actually understand what is right wing, it always becomes this sort of caricature. And it's always like, oh, look at this right wing movie. And it's a movie about like big trucks and guns and girls wearing USA flag bikinis. And it's like, that's not right wing, right?
No.
Same thing with Black Rifle Coffee Company. I mean, this is a company who was marketing to American patriots. Their whole thing was AR-15s, and we got tattoos, and we got muscles, and we like police and military. And conservatives and patriots are like, oh, let's buy our coffee from these people, you know, where most of us are drinking coffee, maybe. Well, let's get our coffee at least from people who don't hate us. And then they do an article in the New York Times. They do a whole profile on the company and on their owner. Turns out they actually have contempt for those people. They have contempt for American patriots. And so, like, literally, these people are it's really unfortunate because they're well-meaning, the people, but then they subscribe to these companies who are run by like these sort of like New York liberals who just kind of know how to tap into that market, and they hate them. They literally have contempt. They think that Trump voters are like racist, they're terrible people, and so you're literally patronizing a company who probably hates you more in a way than the average coffee company, even Starbucks, because this company was designed to psyop you into giving them money under the guise of like helping American patriots or whatever. Whereas at least Starbucks doesn't do that. I mean, yeah, they're liberal, yeah, they're like gay or whatever, but
Well, yeah, I was going to say in Texas, you can find the 3 transgenders by just going to the 3 Starbucks in your city, and those are the people who serve you. I will say I accidentally destroyed the entire American reputation of a company through one tweet, and that started a cascade of everything. And this keeps happening in my life where these companies end up losing millions to tens of millions of dollars in revenue and profit, and entire shares of their company collapse because I somehow just write stupid tweets, and then it turns into problems for the real world. And here's the issue, though. People who are offended by tweets, yeah, you need to work on yourself, and that's these companies get offended by tweets, and then it sets them off. It does. I mean, they get offended by tweets.
Do you really wear the holster on your chest? Do you really have
The
that
scout
one?
chest. I do have a scout chest holster.
Do you use that?
Have I used it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I have used it.
you have.
The leather on the
I'll
inside.
show you mine.
Yeah. Do you have NW retention? It buckles,
It's good retention.
It buggles over, and then it's here.
Yeah, it just seems like an awkward position.
I would say this,
especially if it's concealed.
I would say, well, I think
How do
that
you
they're
break
actually,
open the thing?
well, it's mostly for people I would imagine who have big properties and do a
right,
lot
so
of
they can walk around
yard
on their
work, and it's
Yellowstone
more or
property.
less like not the most ideal place to carry a gun. I
Yeah.
don't think that I have a lot of ideal places, but I've only heard of
I'll
people.
show you mine.
I've only heard of people using the scout chest holster who literally like are clearing their property and stuff and just
Gotcha.
want to have a gun on them in case there's like a wolf or something. But other than that, I mean, the average person, you probably shouldn't walk around with a pistol on your chest.
Right.
Like,
One of the questions.
I mean,
was,
you can, but why would I don't know
Yeah.
why.
One of the questions was like, "Why are you so gay?" And that made me think about that. holster
Yeah.
That you.
That-
that you
Why
talked
are
about.
you? Why am I so gay? I'm in a relationship with Ethan Ralph. Ethan Ralph and I have anal sex together, and he eats my ass.
I wasn't gonna.
What?
I wasn't gonna ask it, but you said that. I don't.
Yeah, that's what that was. I saw the question from the side of my eyes, but this. So.
Oh, okay. Will John Doyle ever get his own show on the Blaze? Oh my gosh, Josh 47 wants to know.
Literally, yes.
Literally, no.
He's on it. The slightly offensive is slightly offensive with John Doyle as Elijah Schaffer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a contributor, and I go on shows.
Have you
and
ever
stuff.
hosted the show in his absence?
I did, and I dressed up like rapper DaBaby and talked about black crime statistics on
And
the
then, it
anniversary
didn't
of
get
Black
promoted
Lives
or
Matter.
anything, but it was such a good episode, and nothing ever. I was gone, and I don't know what happened there. What happened?
You hired a woman, is what.
Okay, guys, free form. Talk about whatever you want. No more questions.
Stop it, John.
You remind me of my brother.
I'm an agent of chaos.
I am trying to help him in his career.
Do you feel like
owe
you
your
need
career
guidance?
to Elijah?
Yeah. That's what I was
No,
about to
his
say.
career's himself. I mean, I'm trying to help him, and he's trying to sabotage himself right now.
People think I'm conservative. I'm not. I'm really a spasticist.
Yes.
And that's more of my governing philosophy for all of my behavior. You know, politically, I might be a conservative, but in terms of my governing philosophy, I tend to subscribe to a very esoteric theory that I actually invented called spasticism, which is very simply you pursue that which is the most interesting or chaotic. And right now, for me, that is, dropping little hints. I'm not a rat, okay, but I will lay little traps, and I know things, and that's very fun for me. So I'm gonna do that for probably the remainder.
I
of
don't.
the
I'm a Volt.
Are you though?
A volt?
Literally.
A volt.
I know so many things about so many people, and that's why
Volt.
people don't fuck with me.
Well,
You don't know anything about me.
I will admit, with you, I know zero. So you can do whatever
But you do
want.
know the pitbulls.
I know things.
Yeah.
about
Oh,
him.
I know that you know the
things
killer
about
dog
me?
that kills children.
I know things about you. And by the way, the thing that you just thought of, no way he knows.
But
that.
I know a John,
that.
and John knows things. No, I meant genuinely. Like I feel like it's a genuine issue that like I don't go out of my way to like publicly take anyone down or do anything like that because I feel like it's cheap shots. I feel like that's really a nasty thing. So I feel like people end up like conceding to just like making shit up about people in this world, which is like basically that's the joke.
Why
about
can't we all
Ralph.
just have our own shows where we all do our own thing?
And why does everyone have to be such a
egos
bitch?
involved?
Well, that's what it is. But
bitch?
this is why you have to own it because this Ethan Ralph guy makes a video about how because he's mad because of something I'm not going to get into. So he makes this video up that he has a secret source that I'm gay. So then I just make a response and said, yeah, his secret source is himself because we're gay and we're in a relationship. My wife's okay with it, and he knows that I'm into anal sex because we do it together. And so he's very mad because I outed him. I embraced it. I just said yes.
Okay.
I love gun. I like 5'1" gun-like people. I like overweight, like 40-year-old men with criminal histories. But I just mean this genuinely. It's like you have to just own it and love it because this stupid drama YouTube shit that people love to do, like start problems. It's like, dude, I just want to make videos and ask people questions and punch John on the internet. Why can't I just do that?
Yeah, I just want to make videos and ask people questions too.
Right,
I'm not going to make a video about like what happened on this person's show yesterday.
I want to make videos and be asked questions about.
John is a secret. He wants to be a drama channel. John, if John wants to be a drama channel,
I should start doing Content Cop again. The Keemstar like internet drama. I would love to do that.
It's look, even the people that do it say it's low tier. They'll
you totally do. You totally.
But they're nice guys. I know a lot of guys who do it. They're cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm so unproblematic, and I always just have been. You know, even my mom will tell you this. I'm an angel, and so for me, you know,
it's true. I watched it
is true
from heaven,
and the conversations in the house were always, you know, oh, your sister did this, your half sister did this, and you know, they'd be talking about it because it was bad, and I just sort of like came to really realize like these are the interesting conversations. You know,
Do you have brothers?
I do not.
Just sisters.
I have, a sister, and then I have a half sister. And so, you know, it was always the boring conversation of like, did you do your homework or did you do your chores? But then it's like, oh, you know, so-and-so got in trouble with the police today. And it's like, ooh, this is interesting. I like this. And so that sort of translated into politics where everyone's got dirt on everyone except Elijah and myself because we're angels. And so it's sort of interesting to just sort of sit back and watch, you know.
It's hard to be perfect.
I've never found it difficult. What I find most difficult about it, actually, since you asked, is the reaction. It's sort of like the jealousy aspect of all these people. They're like, oh my gosh, I'll never be perfect. I'll never be as smart as you. And it's like, well, I'm sorry. I wish I could tell them, just work harder, read more books. But it's just, I have a gift from God and they don't.
Is perfection enjoyable?
Heavy lies the crown, let me tell you. It really is. It's difficult. It's difficult. I don't know.
There was a shooting in New York City, in Brooklyn.
Is it the black supremacist?
I guess so. That's what they're saying. And a bunch of Asian people got shot. The New York City mayor is black. The New York City police commissioner is black. 53% of the NYPD force is minority. There are about 35,000 cops. And a lot of the stuff that I saw on Instagram last night was saying that white supremacy is a problem. Don't get more cops. And I want to say the real fix here is you just allow residents of New York City and New York State to conceal weapons.
They already
That's
do
it.
Can I say this real fast?
Oh, no, legally.
I'm sorry. I accidentally called your podcast the I'm Doing Good podcast instead of I'm Doing Great. And people thought I did that on accident. I just want to say that. No, because John said he was doing great. Now he's just doing good.
Now he's downgraded.
But everyone knows, but everyone in the
Are you on
Telegram's a big
Telegram?
fan of you guys. I put you guys up there right now, and they're all like, oh, I love that podcast. Yay. Woohoo. And they all love you. And there's no scat porn, so we're doing good today.
You know
We're
how
good.
like
We're doing great.
this is exactly like I guess what people were saying. You know how they're like, you're interrupting people too much. Now I understand it.
They say that about both of us, yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
now.
they say we interrupt a lot.
Yeah,
It's true.
Don't even know what that word means.
interrupt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I have a show we have to fight for
what's
airtime.
the etymology on interrupt?
Oh, that I can tell you. But Elijah can't conceptualize other people talking. So, like, if you're talking in response to Elijah,
You both, go ahead.
if you're talking in response to Elijah, he'll just simply sort of wait for the next thought to load, and then he'll cut you off and go, no, but that's what I'm saying. And then he'll just continue with what he was saying.
That's gonna sound
Hello,
horrible, by the way.
my name is John.
It's probably gonna
I
sound bad.
am.
I know.
Hello.
That's why I ruined his. He was digging me, so I destroyed his speech.
I'm racist the clown. I'm here to make all your party wishes come true, folks, and put on a happy face, and we're doing great.
Do you guys travel together?
Yes.
You just happen to travel together?
No, we actually. The thing is that I think there's nothing more that I would hate in the world than betrayal of like friends and of people. And I feel like I know who my allies are, and I can kind of tell who's not. And I feel like John is somebody who is really honest with himself about the world, and he's somebody I can rely on. And I feel like he has an honest worldview. And I feel like if you know people that are no bullshit, like you guys, no bullshit kind of people, it's really nice because there's a lot of bullshit.
Where are you from originally?
LA.
Because you said John.
John. Sometimes it's
Yeah,
John.
You said Gian.
Jan, I say construction. I don't know. Weird.
Who did the man on the street stuff first? Was that you or Fleckus?
Definitely it was.
Was it Austin? Who
Sam
did?
Hyde.
Oh, Sam. Well,
I think we all kind of looked up to Sam Hyde.
I found out about you through Fleckus watching him. Even though you guys had nothing to do with each other, you just kind of popped around at the
adopted
same
me.
time.
Yeah, because I had a podcast and then we got shut down because someone called in a mass shooting to a high school from my podcast. And so then the police made us shut it down for a second while there was an open investigation. So Fleckus was like, why don't you just take your podcast on the street? So then I took it on the street. And then like the first video did like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube and then also just crushed everywhere else. And then thank you, Fleckus, for giving me great ideas and helping me. I really love you. And you're one of my favorite people.
Ron, you guys think the same way about pit bulls?
No, the opposite.
Pit bulls remind me about they're like betrayal manifested in a
Fleckus
dog.
is a very
Betrayal
anti-pit
manifested
bull.
in a dog.
Oh,
he has
true.
merch.
Because
He has
he's
merch about it.
because he's smart.
Baby thrasher.
Yeah, I saw this tweet. It was like the ultimate fantasy for a pit bull owner is for their dog to be like mauling somebody and then to gaslight them about the attack as it's happening. Like,
Well, it
oh, he's
depends.
usually so sweet.
Wouldn't it depend on who they're mauling? You don't want them to maul a child.
And they do all the time.
you want all pit bulls
That's
to
loose
be-
terminology.
Yeah, I support pit bull eugenics.
They shouldn't be allowed at dog parks. I think that should be a law. No pit bulls at dog
Neither
parks.
should golden doodles.
Why? They're
Is
not-
that your poop after you eat
Golden doodles?
like
What?
glitter?
you know what a golden doodle looks like?
No.
golden doodle?
Golden doodles are sweet though. They're very mild.
Tell a lot about a person if he has a golden doodle.
You can tell a lot of.
Oh, if he has a pit bull. Good one, John.
Yeah. So okay, those are so cute. Look at
They
this
are.
little guy.
They're golden
I
retriever,
call them
golden retriever
Goodles.
poodles.
Goodles.
Goodles is
Mr.
probably
Goodles.
better than...
I call my dog Mr. Magoo.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, Mr. Magoo, how have you been? And he looks at me every time. He goes, I've been fucking up your entire life and making your wife pissed off. And I go, doing the Lord's work.
I call my dog a white nationalist.
Dude, it's true. We have a doll. Do you know about this? We have a diversity coalition on my show of diverse dolls, and we had a Down syndrome
Dolls?
doll. Yeah, we collect dolls that are diverse.
Really?
Yeah, like peg-legged and Down syndrome. Our Down syndrome doll is a Nazi. He's actually a white nationalist.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. He hails Hitler and stuff, and you can't get mad at him though. He's got Down syndrome, so his racism is superseded by the fact that he doesn't understand.
Oh, God.
He's just. What are we looking at?
This is...
Pitbull attacked California girl inside daycare center, not yard, mother says.
2 days ago.
What was she doing?
What was she wearing?
What was she wearing?
You are victim blaming. You are on team pitbull and not team little girl.
Wait, clarify it. The dogs.
Yes.
Okay.
Not the rapper
'Cause I do
or
like Pitbull.
singer guy.
Yeah.
What's he do? Who knows?
Yeah, it's like one of those crossovers. You don't know if he's a singer or a rapper because
Yeah.
he's doing both at the
I mean,
same
he's
time.
Mr. Worldwide. I guess he can do anything.
Oh yeah, he is. I really want you to go more in depth on pitbull numbers though, and I want you to
All right,
want you to
let's
get
see.
the numbers from Rottweilers, Pinschers, German Shepherds, and I rack your head all you want.
Did you guys have merch?
No, we're gonna
Not
make
yet.
some.
Okay, this is just a plug. Make sure that you guys stay tuned for when the merch comes out, and you make them a lot of money when it comes out. Just like so, that as the episodes go, it's coming soon.
Yeah,
And we don't know when it's coming, but
Sorry.
it's
Yeah,
coming
it's
soon.
not even close.
Yeah,
Read
it's
it.
not even close.
read it. Give me the metrics. Tell me the
Go
year
ahead.
that the study was
Go
done.
ahead, John.
Okay.
This is 2020.
This is 2020. Probably the most updated data available.
Yep.
Here's the
Good because the mic can't pick them
fatal
up. So, oh, damn.
fatal dog bites by breed. 13%, the second most popular category, unreleased. 4% American Bulldogs, 4% those German Shepherds you were talking about, 4% the Bull Mastiffs, 4% mixed breeds, and 2% a mix of like 5 different breeds. So those would be your mutts. And then, 72% Pit Bulls.
Okay,
That's a huge number.
72%. How many total things are
Right.
they looking at?
You are like the mental gymnastics to
No,
be a Pit
because
Bull
if it's
apologist.
50, then 70% of that would still be a lot. But
fast. Let me do this.
I'm hoping that the sample
46.
size is 10.
Proportion is what matters.
46 U.S. dog bite related.
Who are they biting?
fatalities
Who are they
occurred
biting?
in 2020.
I want to know what the family structure of those families are. Or if they are families,
Just
if
take
there's
the L.
guys
Just
with roommates.
Just take the L.
Hi, baby.
Hi, baby.
Guess what? So I'm on a show right now, and you're on the show, and so we're talking about pit bulls.
Oh my gosh, don't even get me started.
So true,
All right.
Kez.
So what do you think about pit bulls? We have a pit bull lover here, a pit mix lover, a pit daddy we call him. What do you think about pit bulls?
Well, I'm sure pit bulls are the most gentlest, kindest dog. They wouldn't hurt a fly.
True.
But they would hurt a child.
Every single time I have gone to the dog park.
Look up pit bulls and
some-
kids.
Some pit
The
bull
history of
or a
pit bull
pit
and
mix.
children.
Baby, keep
Yeah.
Just
going.
a bunch of dead babies.
No. They were
Every
they
time
were
I
baby
take my dog to the dog
protectors.
park, either a pit bull or a pit mix literally attacks my dog
Yes.
every single time.
Yes, and guess how many percentage of fatal
Okay,
dog
I want to know.
attacks
I want to know
out
the
of
meaning of
100%? How
attack.
many
Was it
fatal,
nipping behind
fatal,
the head?
deadly dog
No, that was
attacks
fatal.
were
These are
pit
fatal
bulls?
attacks.
Out of all the breeds that exist in every
Killing other
combination,
dogs or people?
how many
People.
how many percentage was pit bulls?
Probably every
Yeah, the
single one
kids.
of
I
them.
feel bad about.
78%,
But
I think.
You know.
72.
Dang.
72%.
Oh my gosh.
3/4 of
Wow.
all fatal dog attacks were from pit bulls, the kindest, gentlest ones. Again, who don't hurt flies but do kill
If you
humans.
saw my face, you would see how shocked and surprised I am right
Hang
now.
up.
All right, see you later. Don't say the N word.
Bye, Kez.
Well, she just said it at the end too. Everyone says the N word as you hang up. Here we go. They can say the N word in Australia. It's not a. It's
Yeah,
not a
I know, and they
problem.
say Negro a lot too. When I lived there,
they
they
say
were
the
like, "Where are
N-word.
you from?" I'm from Georgia, and they're like, "Oh, there's a lot of Negroes there, right?" I was like,
They know how the Somalis act. They've
That's
learned.
genuine curiosity.
"Yeah, they because it's not. It's just a regular word there."
Well, the Somalis are very violent there. They're very understanding of immigration. not
So,
being
Mike,
qu-
the pit
good.
bulls.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do about the pit bulls?
He's
I
gonna
don't know.
keep
I don't even
coping.
have one now. I don't even have one now.
Did they have to put it down because it killed somebody?
No, one got cancer,
Based.
and the other one in next.
What? Oh, you're on Team Pitbull
No,
now?
I'm
I'm
not.
an adult.
No,
I
I
can.
mean,
Dogs die of cancer. I mean, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, he didn't give a shit when people were dying because of pit bulls. You think that he's gonna care if a pit bull died because of cancer? Well, actually, probably. I don't know.
Yeah. If I have to be consistent in my views.
we were planning whenever Fleckus comes on the show, we were planning to somehow like get a pit bull and bring it, but
Kills Fleckus. His last words
He
were, "I
has
was
a
so
pit,
right."
He technically does have. But his dog works for him because they say you look like your dog, and his dog's like
Bowser, that's the term.
Yeah, and he's like, and he's like, and yeah, but I was
Does
gonna
he?
say, yeah, it's a Rottweiler. I'll say he's got a pretty aggressive looking dog, but like, I mean, he's a Division I football player.
Pre the popularity of pit bulls, it was the
You don't want to
Rottweilers.
f with like. You don't want it. You don't even want him to sit on you in a wrestling match or anything. He'll
tank.
kill you. Like you will die. And when you see that guy, you're like, dude, he's the definition of you are not fat. You are literally just huge. Like his forearms are bigger than my thighs, which is
Well,
not.
here's
that's crazy.
a question. Here's a question because if we go deeper into this, because I'm a pit bull apologist, how many pit bulls are there in America?
Couldn't go downhill.
That's what the percentage
Because is it
tells us.
disproportionate?
Yes.
No, but if there
Are there
are
retarded
5
people in the
million
country? Are
pit
there a lot of
bulls-
retarded people? Yes.
there are
Okay,
5 million
guess what
pit
the
bulls in the
percentage
country.
is. What's the percentage of all dogs? What percentage do pit bulls make of all dogs?
Don't even try to like 6%. I'm going to say it's a very large percentage. I'm going to say it's over 40.
I would say it's
Yeah.
under 3.
No, don't do that.
What do you think, John? Or did you see it?
I didn't see it. Pit bull ownership?
No,
Yeah.
the
Out of all
amount of
dogs.
pit bulls.
The
No, the
amount of
amount of
pit
pit
I'd
bulls.
say
in the
3
country.
or less, 3% or less.
Is it a number or a percentage?
A percentage.
Yeah, less than 5%.
6%.
No, that's bullshit. Who's doing who's
There
He's
are-
being a leftist. What's your source? What's the methodology?
Yeah,
Is it
I
peer-
wanna
Is
know.
it peer reviewed? Do we have metadata?
I just
Peer
want to know
reviews, maybe.
because also how many of them
This
are
is
in
like
the shelters.
this is like when you
currently
have to
and
sit
not being
down
owned.
with a very good friend of yours and tell her about how toxic her relationship is, and she just keeps finding every excuse in the book. It's because he gets fucked by pit bulls. That's
Well,
what
listen,
it is.
listen. I've
When I
never
told you that
had
I
a
knew
pit
about what's
bull-
in your closet, that's what I was referring to.
Oh. Well, no. Well, then they've been fixed.
You can't fix something that will forever be broken.
So true, Elijah.
4.5 million pits in
Like
America.
the horrors of this country.
Out of how many dogs total? Also, how many of them are in the shelters waiting to be killed, which I'm sure you're happy about, obviously. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably more in the
I
shelters.
fantasize about killing pit bull. I'm not even kidding. I would love to witness a pit bull attacking
Michael
like
Vick of
another dog in
conservative.
public, just so I could kill it in front of its owner and watch its stupid owner be like, "My poor baby," as this dog is like foaming at the mouth, killing another thing. I would love to just fucking kill that
I
dog.
kicked a pit bull the other day. He bit
I've
me.
thought about it too. You got to break the bone. So a dog's leg, these bones are much more, much thinner than these. You snap its arms, just drive your elbow through its
Go to
stupid pit
Shanghai,
bull
bro.
face.
Go to
I would love-
Shanghai. You
literally.
can do it.
Dude, I'd work for the CCP. Are you kidding me?
John would love it.
Yeah, the Asian smiles.
Yeah,
at the
he's always
thought
like,
of
"What do
it.
you care about authoritarianism? It's not evil. It's not bad. I just want to kill dogs and murder people."
Yeah, Americans be like, authoritarianism is bad because they kill my fur babies. Meanwhile, our fertility rate's below replacement. We get what we deserve.
That's
Have
that. Yeah, that's
babies.
something. Yeah,
Have babies.
I just like pits.
When are you
man.
gonna have a
I always
baby,
like them.
Elijah?
It's been a few years and we haven't tried really at all. So I mean,
Elijah doesn't have sex.
I was
yeah,
gonna say-
I was gonna
Disgusting.
say I don't. I'm
Hopefully
actually
you're
so
Except with
based.
Ethan Ralph.
Yeah, I'm so based. I only have sex with Ethan Ralph. I don't have sex with my wife because I stay
I
away
gotta
from
look up what
women.
this person
But
is.
I also,
Because you respect her so much.
yeah, respect yourself. But no, I mean, like it's been. I don't need to explain why, but I mean, it's been a pretty tumultuous last few years. We've moved a couple times, and like, it's like obviously her family is in Australia, and we've been like wanting to like be able to have her mom come visit us, but then nobody's vaccinated, so we can't. We really don't want to have. I don't have family really, and she doesn't have her family, and we really want our kid to know her family, and so we're trying to figure out like how do we actually have a kid where her parents can come meet the baby, because it's just like it's freaking confusing. So it's like you want it to be fun, and so she wants her mom to help her, you know what I mean, and like love her grandkid, and we can't see our family. So
and intergenerational living is good for the kid anyway.
Well, I just meant like we just like her parents want to come out for the first month and like, you know, help and be there and whatnot, and like it's just like what woman wants to give birth where her parents can't be there?
Yeah.
So it's just like it's really sad, and I mean my wife's really young too. So
where in Australia is she from?
She's like Gold Coast, Brisbane area.
Oh. The Gold Coast.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I lived in Byron Bay for a while.
I mean, the coast is beautiful too.
Out there with the hippies.
I love it.
We're wrapping up. You guys got to go.
Well, our flight got delayed. I got to do an onboarding call with a new advertiser, and you know I love doing onboarding calls to all my advertisers.
Wait,
I
how
love
much
you.
time do we have then? We don't have to go right now.
I have to be on an onboarding call in about 10 minutes.
I have to pee.
You have 10 minutes. Go pee. No one's stopping you.
Well, I didn't know what the etiquette was. I mean,
the show doesn't revolve around you, John.
Well, I know, that's why I didn't want to interrupt and be like, I have to go pee. You know?
Get up and do
I can't believe the pit bull is the thing that divided you guys. Out of all things, the pit bull.
It's not a division. It's not a division.
They will not divide us. They won't divide us. The men, we're still all united.
I think so.
We still are going to.
People think our dog is a pit bull, but she's not.
Oh no.
Oh
no.
She is. Kid, she's a quarter. She's a quarter bulldog. So she has. That
no,
kind
your
of
dog is
look,
Pit. Show John a picture of your dog.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna kill it.
That's. Yeah. Just wait.
But she's never attacked anyone or anything.
Yet.
Yeah.
She's not a pity.
What if I came around? You know what I mean? Like, what if it's this thing where, you know, suddenly I'm saved by Christ, and then suddenly I turn around, I'm like, wow, yeah, pit bulls are horrible.
That's my dog.
Oh, is your sweetie? Can I see?
Yes. As a puppy, I gotta find a real one though. Let's see.
This is an awesome podcast.
Oh yeah, there's my dog. That's my dog.
Okay.
Does she look like a pit to you?
Dog.
Yeah. I don't think she did.
No, mainly because of the coloring and the markings.
She's half quarter collie, quarter beagle, quarter bulldog.
It looks like a dog. That dog hunts. He can climb up trees, literally.
Really? What kind of? It's a Vizsla?
Yeah, they can. They're the fourth, I think, fastest breed that exists in America.
Are they Rhodesian? No, those
they're
are
42 miles per hour. They run.
Really?
It's never. He got out, and it was. He's faster.
He can
than
survive.
Thanks.
He's a good boy.
Good.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Wait, her dog lives?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a good dog.
Okay.
And she doesn't attack children.
It's true.
She loves kids.
Lives.
Taco, our Chihuahua, constantly bites our daughter.
Chihuahuas and pit bulls. It's like the worst.
It's a Chihuahua
of Mexican
rat terrier.
Culture.
Stinky mouth.
Yeah.
White
Stinky
woman
mouth
stuff.
taco.
Oh.
White woman.
It's like
he's married to a white woman.
It's like we're like white non-douching white women mixes with like hoochie mama, like chunty Mexican cultures, like Chihuahuas, and they always have these like mixed Chihuahuas, and they're always just.
I should have brought Taco.
They're just what are they? I had a Chihuahua for my entire life as a kid, and the only reason why we got her is my mom said, "Cute dog on someone's front lawn." She goes, "Why, you want her?" And then we got Lily.
Yes.
Is that your baby?
Yeah, is she cute?
Oh, absolutely. I think you're going to show me a picture of your dogs. That's got really confused right now. I was like, that looks like a human. How precious.
Yeah, she's cute.
And what is her name? What is her name?
I don't say it on air.
Those are nice dogs. Those are really nice. Those are chickens.
Yeah.
It's a chicken.
Oh, I forgot your eggs again.
Do you remember that? The Kardashian
Geez,
chick?
That's okay.
When her mom brought like a pig in, and she's like, "Oh my
Do you
god!"
want? Do you want to sit in
that.
for John while John's peeing? Do you want to sit in for him?
I want to hear. Take John's seat. Warm it up for a second.
For literally 2 minutes.
Debut. This is his first time on a podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Wow, so blessed.
Hashtag
19.
blessed. 19?
Wow, dude, what's that like?
It's rough.
I'm a year away from double your age.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's got to be way more rough than being 19.
What does that say about the industry? He was like, man, I'm 19. I have to work full time as a producer. I'm like, yeah, there's not a lot of competent people in this industry. So last time I checked, everyone's a piece of shit. So if you're not, you're already at the top of my list.
Yeah, but already 19 and producing how many shows?
Just slightly offensive.
Just slightly offensive.
Yeah,
Still, that's
go ahead.
an
I'm gonna tune out here. Go ahead.
I am the youngest to sign with Blaze TV as a producer.
Really?
No experience. It's all God. It's a miracle. I'm not even saying that boasting. Like, there's nothing that I've done to deserve this position. It's because I made memes on an account that was anonymous, and he really liked the memes, had me edit clips, and then we met at Phoenix, and he was like, "Hey, I might have a job for you." And 3 months later, moved to Dallas, and
That's
now I'm
awesome.
a
Wait, did he
producer.
take Sab's job?
Yes.
Great.
Even more than that.
Oh, awesome.
He works
Wow.
he works a lot more.
You're a good kid.
Good for
Thank you.
Go sit down.
Good for
Thank
you.
you.
He took the role of producer and personal assistant together. So he
That's
works
great.
like 60 hours a week.
That's good. That's
He's
I think
crushing
it. Do that now.
That's the,
It's
that's the
good.
work ethic that I think. I mean, listen, it's not lost on kids now. I mean, you have someone like Josiah.
Yeah,
here
it's
who's,
not totally lost.
You
Yeah.
know,
No, I mean, and it's crazy too that actually you see almost like again, like I keep telling people that my show Slightly Offensive is for mature audiences, 18 and older, and 4th grade and under in California. So because of just what they're shown in school, but I meant like it's crazy now because of how millennials have this chip on their shoulder. They don't want to fucking work, and they want
No.
raises all the time for no good quality.
jobs
He
growing up?
he just wants to
Do you
work
have
hard,
jobs?
and
how,
like
how old?
19-year-olds just want to work.
Yeah.
I hate.
Yeah. Before that, though,
Millennials are the
anything like.
laziest.
I mean, just church work. That's pretty much it.
But see, that's what I'm talking
But his
about.
parents own a business, they're entrepreneurs, and so
Sure.
he's raised an entrepreneur family.
Right.
That's the key thing. An entrepreneurial spirit is what you want. You want someone who's going to take what you do, and like we don't have that anymore with the loss of like quality of work. I've noticed this. Like if you watch training videos back from the early 90s versus now, like it's like they literally say stuff that you would never say now. It'd be like, and if you're like to the girls at the cash register, like smile at the patrons. Everybody likes to see a girl smile, and it's like get put a bright on your face, wear makeup, look fresh, and come into work. And it's like things you would expect are just common sense. And now like you go to the grocery store, they have the mask on, and they're just like. And even though you're like, have you ever gone to the self checkout even? And it's like a person will be with you, and the light's flashing, and the person's just like sitting there.
Oh, that's the worst.
And you're like nobody has work ethic. So to me, I feel like it's all out the window. And because resumes, here's the key thing too, because everything's so digital, everybody lies on their resumes. And I found this with almost everyone I've seen in the world. They just present these resumes, they say they know what they're doing, and they don't know what they're doing. So I'd rather have someone who just doesn't know what they're doing and doesn't lie and just goes, I don't fucking know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
No. I mean, like in the world, like I had an open position, and I asked for people to send in resumes for this position. I got a lot of great resumes, and I look at you look at this, and I go to your social media. You say I'm a great graphic designer. I'm really good with Photoshop. I'm really good with video editing. Cool. Send me your reel. Send me a reel.
Send me your
Dude,
website.
yeah, show me your. It's like video editor on their phone, and they don't know what they're doing. I'm like, well, why don't you just say I don't know what I'm doing and I need a job? Because I'd rather have someone who's just wants to work and I'll train you. But then if you come in and you get a high salary and you just sit back and you're like, well, I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know why millennials are like that. What are you doing?
That'd be a good like alternate show.
You know what I thought
don't
would be
know what I'm
funny?
doing.
You know what I thought would be
but
funny?
it's genuine though. Like
If I
work
came
ethics
back,
matters.
if I came back from peeing and I was like, Mike,
Yeah.
I'm really sorry about our disagreement earlier. And to make it up to you, I got you your very own brand new pit bull. And then it kills everybody in the room.
At this point in my life, I'd prefer that. I'd like that. What do you think about Egyptian pharaohs having their wives buried in tombs with them alive?
Was that a thing?
Yeah.
For what?
In their tombs, like their wives would have to be buried with
Was
them
the
alive in the
pharaoh
tomb. They'd be
already
locked in.
dead?
Yes.
And then
Oh,
they-
I
all the wives
understand.
and concubines would be locked in, and they'd all be.
see, Gavin was right when he talked about this is what guys talk about. Remember when he's like,
Yes.
just kind of like the stupid stuff that guys
Yes.
talk about.
I just want to know what you thought about that, because it always scares me to think of like the fact people say, "What do you think if you're a woman?" I go, "I won't have ever thought about if I'm a woman if I was a Egyptian woman."
Here's
in
the thing. I know
the
that
Nile.
this is pushed around with a lot of like the flat Earth groups and most of the right wing giants. Did they exist at some point?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's a thing, right?
Yeah. Nephilim are real.
Well, a lot
Werewolves
of
and vampires are also real. Unironic. Yeah, seriously.
have you seen any?
So the giant thing, I'm just saying because, again, it sounds interesting, so I want it to be true.
No, it's definitely true. It's biblical.
Werewolves and vampires are real, but you have to understand that mythological creatures exist to warn us, to scare us.
Yeah.
So literally they're not like, these creatures that are going to suck your blood or eat you. But you have to understand that when all of these pagan satanic rituals were happening, when they were sacrificing babies and sacrificing people, protein was scarce. So quite often after they would kill the child or kill the person, they would eat them and they would like literally drink their blood as part of the ritual. So what we know now as vampires do exist. They're not Dracula, but there are people who quite literally participate in these occult rituals and drink blood. Same thing with werewolves. They're not, living in the forest. They're not these hairy, but they are literally eating people as part of occult rituals. So yes, this is very real.
Interesting.
I'm gonna ask because our flight got delayed and I'm gonna need to edit a video after this podcast. Can we sit around and edit a video, and can I order some Uber Eats here?
Yeah, you can.
What do you guys want from Uber Eats? What do you in the mood? Are you guys want some food?
You paying for it?
I will. Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Well, I'm gonna order it while we're on the podcast.
You're gonna order it now?
This is part of the podcast. I
Oh,
wanna know what
guys!
you like.
Imagine if we had a live stream. We can read super chats. Be like, tell us what to
Okay,
order.
can we
You have
do
to pay to
Chick-fil-A?
comment.
No,
Can we
right?
do Chick-fil-A?
And the
do
super
Chick-fil-A.
chats would
Okay,
end up
let's
paying
I want to know
for
what
the
people like.
Uber.
I want everyone to know what people like from Chick-fil-A. So I'm ordering you Chick-fil-A. What do you want from Chick-fil-A?
Chicken sandwich, extra pickles, and waffle fries.
Do you want a drink with that?
No, I have water. Thank
Mike
you.
be like, I
Well,
want a
I
dead
think it
baby
comes
killed
with
by a
it.
pit bull.
Fuck What?
I think it comes with a drink.
John
Get a
can't
cookie
get over
instead
it.
because she didn't bring me any fucking cookies.
Okay, so we got a
I
Chick-fil-A-
did, but
Chick-fil-A
They're
sandwich.
desires now.
I'm finding out what everyone likes. Okay, I'll just get you a regular Chick-fil-A sandwich.
where I'm
off the
going
fries.
back
Here
to
we
my
go.
baby
with
after
extra
this,
pickles.
so not me.
Okay, let me do it. Here we go.
Okay, cool.
Well,
Thank you.
I'll be back. You guys continue. I'm gonna pick this up.
So, I don't know what to talk about.
This
I
was
came in here
this
with a
was
plan.
for sure our most productive
Well,
episode.
yeah, but don't talk about it like it's ending. You know what I
No,
mean?
it's not.
Yeah,
ending
you,
because
you don't
I'm-
want to break the fourth wall.
is-
It sort of sabotages the experience for the viewer.
Yeah.
Do you want
You just
Chick-fil-A
like to
sauce?
pee.
What kind of sauce do you like?
Yeah, but
Chick-fil-A sauce, yeah.
like that was it humanized
Have you
me.
had the
you know?
Polynesian? Is that good?
Oh my
Makes you
gosh,
real.
he
I don't know.
pees
Okay.
too. What?
Just like us.
Yeah, he's
Can
literally
can
me.
we say though, on our YouTube, on our Instagram, you two probably are like the most requested people to have on, even after you came on. When's John coming back? When's John coming back? When's John coming back? Can you get Elijah Schaffer on your show? Have you ever seen You Are Here? Have you ever seen Slightly Offensive? Yes, we have. I watch it. Okay, he's here. They're here.
People request. I've actually helped John because people always go, "Oh, why doesn't John make content?" You're a liar. John's paid to make content on my shows. He's actually making content. He's just smart and diversified his portfolio and makes multiple types of content and saves his best for his own channel. So don't ever doubt the plan. Don't ever.
Yeah.
do it.
Also, the amount of time it takes you to put out your content, just keep doing it. It's
See,
worth
I was
it.
wondering if people
Don't-
wanted more frequent but less dense content. I've been having fun recently. I feel like
I think
everything I
people
put
like the
out in the
more
last
dense
6 months has
stuff.
been a masterpiece.
No, I do the frequent and less dense, and it's exhausting.
Do you want a sponge cake or do you want a steak?
I like we did a whole series, and people are like asking or acting as though I blindsided them. Like I remember telling people at the beginning of last year,
Yeah.
I was gonna answer some more, important questions and take
Decide the
longer.
usual?
So like we did a whole series on proving that Satanism and liberalism
Adriana
are
White.
1-to-1 and that Christianity and conservatism are 1-to-1. We of course did the MLK video. We just did this one about the Russia thing, which is now the longest video on the channel. It talks about Russia, Ukraine, but more importantly, how this ties into general American decline. And it's like, I could go back to making, 20-minute videos talking about the news and tying it into something big picture. And I probably will trim it down to maybe 30 minutes and try to do it more frequently, but I'm not going to apologize for making bangers.
Those
I'm just
2
not.
hour ones are like master classes.
Thank you.
concerning John Doyle,
see-
I
Oh,
think.
this is an
I
hour
thought so.
45.
Yeah. Who's your most requested guest on either of your shows?
Well, I've pretty much got everybody that everyone's been doing this for like 4 years. The show.
Would
So
you
we-
ever get Trump?
I could get you guys on the show. We got to get you guys on. Why don't we have you guys out for Slightly Offensive?
Yeah, let's go.
That's fine.
Yeah,
do
because obviously that's all I'm gonna say is come on Slightly Offensive because Slightly Offensive likes to be cummed on.
I also think that this this
I
room
mean,
is
my
15 by
guess-
15. I
my
want to go just to
guess.
see how big their studio is.
Like I know, but
Yeah,
we'd
we
love
do.
to have you out. I would love to have you guys out because I would say that if this podcast is anything like this one regularly, where it is slightly unpredictable and also which it is because I've seen it many times, and also pretty awesome and has crazy guests, I think a lot of the audience would really like this podcast.
yeah,
I do. We have 2 guest seats,
that's right.
Perfect.
literally.
I don't want to wear the headphones.
Literally.
You have to wear the headphones. It's
Really?
I
non-negotiable.
like the headphones.
Yeah, there's a little
don't like it?
parasite that
Really?
licks
Yeah, that's what I'm
your
scared
ear.
of.
It
Kinda-
gives you a boner.
Yeah.
It's in there.
Cool,
What do you
that's
want,
great.
anything?
No, I'm leaving. Go home
What
with
do you
baby after this.
Chick-fil-A deluxe sandwich, please.
Okay, the meal.
Yeah.
Okay, and what kind of sauce do you want?
Hold on. Comment what type of sauce you think John gets with his Chick-fil-A. And obviously, I mean, yeah, we'll tell you, I guess. I mean, I don't know. This is not live.
Chick-fil-A sauce.
Oh, he's a man of predictability.
Gina, end the show.
Bye.
No. End the show. No, end the show. Tell people where to go for all our stuff.
Go to doinggreat.locals.com.
Yes.
Click like, subscribe,
The
share
bell.
it if you like it.
Yep.
Click the
Instagram.
bell. Comment and let us know who you'd like to see next.
Who are we having on next?
Should we?
Well,
Are we
yeah,
saying?
because by the time they see this, the other episode.
Tomorrow,
won't
my
have any-
pastor is coming on the show.
Can I play you outro music?
Yeah, Dr. Michael Easley will be on the show tomorrow to answer all of our
Wait.
theological questions.
What's the outro music?
Being
Because I don't
considerate.
want to get the content strike and we can't make money from
It's
this
not.
video.
You're gonna recognize it. Relax. Trust the plan.
Well, that's also a problem.
He's gonna call his black cousin again.
No, I'm not. Okay. Continue.
Doinggreat.locals.com.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And right as we
Thank
do
you.
that, right as we do that, we are ordering our Chick-fil-A right now, live on air.
Did you make this?
You never
Have a
played
good
Super Mario
night.
64? This is the credits music?
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Will we get like a?
No.
Okay, we won't. Okay. Well, thank you guys for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Adriano, for setting up some of the curtains. Thank you, Josiah, for doing what you do. And
Thank you to our guest phone calls too.
So true. I am really looking forward to watching that footage.
Yeah.
oh god,
I was absolutely cheesing.
I don't know how I'm gonna do the sizzle reel in less than a minute.
I don't know.
Yeah, but we'll do
Okay.
it.
Pitbulls.
No one knew I
Yeah.
had pipes.
Say bye, Elijah.
I'll see you, Ethan, in my bedroom tonight. Lube it up, it's gonna be fun and a fight. Good night.
Double trouble.
I won't see anyone because I'm a single guy, but this was fun.
Yeah, right.
And we'll catch you later.
Yeah, right.
Shut up, Gina. See you guys
Yeah,
later.
right.